Hey everyone. Um, I'm actually not sure where anyone is. I've tried calling Crystal and texting Crystal. I sent emails to her and Michelle. I don't know. So anyway, I'm gonna do my best to to do this by myself. The whole plan today was to talk about depression and anxiety. We are going to kind of give it just a few minutes for to see if anyone can join us. So while we're waiting, we'll go over and go over all like the clinical part of it because you know we have to be somewhat thorough, right? Nope, that's not what we want. No. Um, all right. So we're going to go over definitions and then go from there. So for depression, the definition is feeling utterly dispirited or dejected. The medical terminology says it's a common but serious mood disorder. It causes severe. I forgot to move my microphone, so hopefully you guys heard me. um, It's a common but serious mood disorder. It causes severe symptoms that affect how a person feels, thinks, and handles daily activities such as sleeping, eating, or working. There are 6 types of depression, and those are major depression, persistent depressive disorder, bipolar disorder, seasonal affective disorder, or otherwise known as SAD. And then there's also prenatal depression, and then PMDD, which is a premenstrual PMS type depression. All right. And again, guys, I do apologize. I don't know where everyone is. So hopefully one of them will get on soon. I don't know. The definition for anxiety, what I'm feeling right now, because I don't know how to do this by myself. Oh, hold on. Let me add Michelle here. All right. Can you hear me, Michelle?
I can. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
good. Yes, thank you for joining. Oh, Crystal finally joined us. Um, I don't know. Are you gonna? I don't know if she's gonna turn off her camera or not. Okay, well, we'll add her. Okay. Okay.
Where did it go?
What?
I have my little thingy. I'll stop it. There we go.
All right. So I was just about to read the. I was about to read the definition for anxiety real quick.
Yeah, there it is.
It's a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease, typically about an imminent event or something with an uncertain outcome. The medical description is a mental condition characterized by excessive, apprehensive, and real or perceived threats, typically leading to avoidance behaviors and often to physical symptoms such as increased heart rate and muscle tension. And then for anxiety, there are a lot. There is panic or generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, social anxiety disorder, and then a whole crap ton of phobias. So that is all the medical jargon that we have to talk about. Sorry, I was passing time until other people joined. So
That's okay. I mean, it's a good topic to delve back in to see the parameters of what the medical society thinks it is. Did you open that profile and see me sitting there with my picture on there? Did you have to click my profile?
yeah, it shows me how you guys are joining before you like get everything set up. So
Oh, okay. It should have told you Michelle is having technical difficulties.
oh no, it didn't tell me that. No.
So have either one of you been diagnosed with anxiety, or is this something you're prognosing yourself?
No, I've been diagnosed with both anxiety and depression. So,
Okay.
yeah, the first therapist I saw in Indiana diagnosed me with bipolar, but down here they diagnosed me with the generalized depression or whatever it was,
Anxiety disorder.
major depression, and then anxiety. I have. She just said anxiety, but I think I have a combination of all of them. So,
Depending on the day or the circumstance. I was going to say mine are mostly perceived situations, not real full-on situations. Nevertheless, that it doesn't undermine the anxiety that goes with it. But mine are usually my own working up to, if this happens, this is how I'm going to react. And of course, nothing ever goes the way I perceive it to be. I'm just wasting my time. But in the moment, I can't quit worrying about it as it may unfold.
yeah, it's horrible. And I think people that don't have it just don't understand it, and they just the response I hate the most is just get over it.
Just get over it. Yeah.
It's like, okay, I wish I could.
Yeah, and their anxiousness about it is not the same as our anxiety attack over the situation, and so
Yeah.
they're okay to just get over being anxious about the situation. But what I tell them is, you can't feel or see that pit in my stomach right now, and it's turning knots forwards and backwards and sideways, and that's hard to get rid of. That feeling. I mean, I have sweaty palms. I just have other things to go along with it. It's not just get over it. And like, I hate that. I do hate that too. But I a lot of times will take myself out of the situation because I don't want to hear anybody say just get over it. So, which is the bad thing, is that I just elect not to do it because I don't want to hear that response. Just get over it. But I never heard of anxiety disorder before. Generalized anxiety disorder. I guess that covers more than one of those, because I think I have more than one of those as well.
Yeah, the symptoms they say that it is feeling restless, wound up, or on edge, being easily fatigued, having difficulty concentrating, being irritable, having headaches, muscle aches, stomach aches, or unexplained pains, difficulty controlling feelings of worry, having sleep problems such as difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep.
Right. The mind loop goes along with that. Do you have the mind loop that goes along with your anxiety? I think some people don't understand what I say when I'm talking about that, but it plays up in my mind way before my body feels it, and then then, like you said, they say get over it, but your mind is still functioning in that mind loop, so you just keep going over it, and just, I don't know how to explain it to people that don't have it. I didn't realize until I was older that not a lot of people have the same mind loop that I have. I have like a dictation going on in my head of what's going on around me, whether that's true or just my body feeling some kind of way about it.
Yeah.
But it like dictates to, like, not dictates, what's the right word?
Controls, maybe?
I can't think of the right word, but it's, I'll think of it before we get to talking. I didn't delve into this prior to this session, so my words are jumbled. But
I'm trying
to like a dissertation of the day. Like, my mind loop I will just play over what's going to happen the entire day.
Oh, so yeah, like it's already telling you what's going to happen before it actually happens.
Right, and then I have an anxious moment of now this is happening, and that's not what we discussed earlier.
Yeah.
this is not what we talked about earlier, kind of thing.
Yep, I do that all the time. That's part of what keeps me awake at night is that I'm just constantly thinking of how's tomorrow going to go? What do I need to do tomorrow? And then when everything I have planned out doesn't happen the next day, it's like, ugh,
And then you turn negative on yourself because you didn't do the things you said you were going to do.
yep.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. I'm getting a little bit better at that, but yeah. And then then there's a fight amongst myself that, well, you didn't do the things you were supposed to do. Undue pressures, I think, we put on ourselves too. Like, are you both married or single?
I'm
I don't
married.
remember.
I'm not.
Okay, you're single. But I put undue pressures on myself from my husband, who has no idea what I'm talking about when sometimes I get upset. I'm not doing the things I think he thinks that I should be doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
He's not in reality telling me that I have to do any of these things, but I put pressure on myself to do the things that I think a wife should do for her husband, if that makes sense. And then when I don't
Yeah.
get to do it, then I'm upset with him sometimes. It's like, why are you mad? because because I feel like a failure, and he's like, but why? I don't know if your husband does that, and I guess that's a lot of the male. They just can't listen to your angst. They have to fix it or find a way for you to fix it so it's all good in the world. And it's like, I'm not telling you this for you to fix it. I just want you to know why I'm mad. Why I'm mad right now.
Yeah. Yeah, he luckily understands me, so like when I get in my moods, he knows that he either needs to back away or he knows, okay, this is what's going on. I need to do this. And so he's learned over the years how to handle me.
The precursors to the upset, to the big blow up of you not feeling like you're doing your own job.
Mm.
Yeah, I think mine has noticed it. He says, I either have to take a look at what I have done to make sure it's not something that I have really done, it's something in your mind that I have done, kind of thing. I don't know if you see those TikToks where this husband wakes up and he's in trouble from the wife dreamt that he had had an affair on her while they were asleep. He's like, now I'm in trouble for something that you imagined that I didn't do any of this. You imagined I did. Now I'm in trouble. Sometimes I feel like that. He's like, why are you mad at me? And I have to sometimes step back and say, well, I'm not really mad at you. I'm mad at the situation, but you're the only one standing here in front of me. So you get the brunt of it.
Yeah.
I haven't been to the doctor for this in quite some time, though.
Yeah,
probably 15 years ago. And
yeah. I haven't been.
So they had none of the treatments and suggestions that they have nowadays. Plus, I went to a doctor who probably couldn't have cared less either way. So I should have kept on until I found a doctor that was workable, that we could agree upon this and that. And so
yeah, there's some doctors that are too old school and they don't care. They don't understand.
It's all in your head.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I understand it's in my head, but I can't get rid of it. So we've got to figure this out. But he was, like I said, about 15 years ago, he was the eldest doctor in the group, and he just had to eat one of those groups where you had to go, and whoever was available that day, so you got to see. So that wasn't very good either, because then you had to. They can write their own notes, but I feel like they need a preface of what I'm going through before they tell me, "We'll try this. We'll try this." Well, did you read the chart? Do you know where I am now and what I've done previously, or are we just going to start this whole cycle over again? So I don't think they have empathy. I don't have empathy. But I have had some attacks come up on me where I didn't know it was coming, or maybe my body knew it was coming, but my mind didn't know it was coming until it was there. And I've just grabbed my kids and left the store before because it just was too much to bear at that time. Like groceries in cart, just picked up and left. Went home and thought, well, I'll try this again tomorrow. or this weekend without the kids or whatever it may have been. But
Yeah. I just lost my train of thought. Sorry.
it's all right.
Oh, I was gonna say the last doctor I saw, she had put me on medication for it, and I kept telling her I didn't like the way it was making me feel, and she wouldn't take me off of it. So I just quit seeing her and I quit taking the medicine, and it just, I don't know. I think a lot of like the drugs they prescribe you these days make you worse. They don't make you better. So
Well, I think on my end, when they were trying the medication out on me, it was that then I had more reservations and more anxiety about the medicine they were putting me on, because it was either too strong or not enough. And when it was too strong, I couldn't function and take care of my family. Well, I don't want that. So
yeah,
I would do that myself, just quit taking it, and then it would get so bad again that I would go again. They'd be like, well, you didn't take the medicine. And so I
yeah,
didn't take the medicine because when I did take the medicine, I couldn't take care of my family. And I that's the
yeah.
reason I came to begin with, is because I can't take care of my family because of these issues.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't think they care if it makes us a zombie or not.
No, they don't. They just, well, for some people, they get drug money or whatever. Like,
Oh, the doctors definitely get
that.
they
Like,
definitely get kickbacks for writing those prescriptions.
pharmaceutical money.
Yeah.
Well, they get
Yeah.
perks. I have worked on that side of things where we were not allowed to let the drug companies in unless they had the whole office something, or they could offer something to the physician on the front end, and then he would get so much stuff on the back end for writing a month for writing these prescriptions to people. So
But it was
that
like
definitely is a thing.
prescribing a specific drug and not like, because I know I was just at my neurologist on Wednesday, and every time I go, he keeps talking about this nutritional supplement, and I'm like, well, does my insurance cover it? Nope. And
No, it's brand new.
why would I want it? Like every other drug I take, I can get for free with my insurance. I don't have to pay for any of my medications because of the insurance that I'm on, and
Right.
because of like the copay through my, and everything. So I don't have to pay for any of my medications. And so it's like with that one, I have to pay like $50 to get it. So I'm like, why
Right.
would I want to take a medication that I have to pay for?
I have to either take my medication or buy my groceries for the month. I mean,
Exactly.
what would you do?
And
Right.
Mhm.
like he's
I
been
don't under,
like for the last like I think year and a half, like he's been talking to me about that drug, and I'm like, if it's on my insurance, yeah. But
let's try it. Yeah, something
no.
new would be fine.
Yeah, because he's like, you'll lose
Yeah.
weight, you'll do this, you'll do that. And I'm like, well, have they approved it for insurance? No.
No, it's brand new. Oh, some of the newer medications that they try to hand you out, though, I mean, I guess it's up upon the doctor, but there's a wider spectrum medication out there today that wasn't available when they were pushing medication to me. And I'm sure in their eyes, it's like, well, let's give you some wider spectrum and see if you don't fit within these walls of this kind of medication. And since all the other things haven't worked, but on our side, we're not doctors. We don't make your money, so I can't afford to do just whatever. I mean, I want to help myself, but it also I have to live as well
Exactly.
in the process.
Yeah. Or when they try to put you on some experimental trial thing and you're like, I don't
I'm
know.
already messed up enough. I don't need to be on no experimental anything. I need
Yeah.
to know for a fact that it has worked on a base group of people before I take it. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a
Exactly.
reason why it's not covered. What, baby? What? What you want? Who did it? Who did it?
So on the depression side of things, either one of you said that you were diagnosed with a depression disorder?
Mhm.
I was told that I had like had bipolar, but then like after I moved here, I had someone else look at me and be like, I don't think you're bipolar.
So what parameters are they saying today for a bipolar
Uh,
I don't
diagnosis?
like as soon as I started talking to my doctor here and mentioned bipolar, she was like, I don't think you're bipolar.
I
But
was told a long time ago that I had something called disassociated depression, and I'm like, what is that? What is that? Like, I don't even remember her explanation at the time, but like dissociated depressive disorder or something of that nature.
um,
I think I've heard of it before,
But there was 2 medications at that time they were available for that disorder, and I'm allergic to everything. I mean, I could give you a list of the things I'm not allergic to quicker than I can tell you what I am allergic to, and they were all sulfa dissolved drugs, and I can't do sulfur at all. So
I was on lithium and I'm still on a mood stabilizer, which I'm good with, but I'm off the lithium now, which feels good. But
and are both of those diagnoses hereditary? Depression and anxiety, are those both in the
I know
realm of
like schizophrenia and stuff like that can be, but I don't know if anxiety really can be.
as
right?
far as I know, depression and anxiety are not genetically passed on.
Okay.
I
Reason I'm
think
asking that is because I believe my mother was never diagnosed with any of that either, but I know that she had demons she fought with similar. Now, as an adult, looking back at some of what she had done, I can see myself doing some of those things because of the feelings and things that I'm having. So I just wondered if that could be.
I think it's probably just because like anxiety and stuff like that is more stuff that we do to ourselves and
Like, I guess it could have
schizophrenia.
been taught, though. I could have learned it from how she dealt with life, I guess.
Yeah.
So I just looked it up. Dissociative depression disorder is now is considered severe depression, which is now under major depressive disorder.
Major depressive disorder. Okay,
Yeah.
so that was what it would be at the moment. It's scary to go by. I mean, I've thought a couple of years now that my kids are older and I do have a little bit more leeway to try to go back and see somebody and get it tampered down. But
yeah, I think a lot of people are diagnosed with it as well that don't even really have it too, because
right,
like I think they're just sitting there trying. They're like, okay, well, I can put them on this drug. It's safe for them to be on. It's not going to affect them that much. That way they get the kickback because who was it we went to school with? Like they bragged about their doctor and how they diagnosed him with depression and they were on this particular drug, but like they did not show any. And I know maybe they were depressed, I don't know, but they didn't show any type of even.
Erica?
Maybe it was Erica. I think after her mom died, maybe she did develop some sort of depression, but beforehand, she wasn't depressed. I don't know.
to me that, I mean, not that it lessens the anxiety or the depression at all, but situational depression because you've lost someone is totally different than dealing with it on a daily basis all day long, every day.
Yeah.
So you're thinking they were giving the diagnosis just to prescribe this new medicine, but they only diagnosed her with that because you have to have that diagnosis to get this prescription. It does make sense that they would do something like that.
And in a way, I think when they do that, though, like I said, I think especially if they're prescribing someone who doesn't have the disorder, the medication, I think it does something to their brain, and then it kind of develops the actual disorder because
then they become disordered by taking the medication when they didn't actually have it to begin with.
Right, because depression is a chemical imbalance. So
right. Now, and I have noticed a difference in eating the way I'm eating now, with some of it lessening because of the sugar content, but it didn't all go away by no means. But it is definitely better when I'm eating the way I'm supposed to eat.
Right.
I should say that. That's also an everyday battle. But I do see a sugar, just white sugar, leading to some of those heightened problems. Not that it would cause them, but if you have it already, it heightens your mood and your mind-body chemical, whatever you want to call it.
Yep, definitely does. Food is like a major thing.
It's just another drug group. I mean, just link that into another drug that we're pushing in our system. I'm definitely a meaner person when I have a lot of sugar, a lot of carbs. I am. It's no joke. I mean, really, I'm being serious. I'm just in total demeanor. I'm just upset with no real reason of being upset. Just mad at everything. So what do you guys do besides medication to help with either one of these when you're plagued by them? Like, how do you get out of anxious?
Hold on real quick.
Okay. Somebody must have been delivering something. Her puppy's upset.
Sorry, stupid Amazon. They decided to knock on the door.
That's what I just said. I think she got a delivery because the dog's going crazy.
Yeah, usually they don't knock on the door. This one knocked on the door. I hate when they do that. Sorry, I was about to answer your question. Now I done forgot what your question was.
Other than medication, what are some tools that you help yourself get out of an anxiety situation once you're like mid worked up?
So for me, what really works is to just sit with myself. I listen to music, and like I said, I think it was last video, I start out like really sad to match my mood, and then I work my way up to happier. And a lot of times that just helps get me out of the funk I'm in. Other than that, I try to do things that like occupy my mind, like crafts, or I don't want to say cleaning because cleaning, shoot.
Uh-oh.
Are you there?
I am.
Oh my God, I don't know what I just did.
Looks like you turned your camera off.
Oh, I don't know how I did that. I accidentally hit a button. But yeah, cleaning leaves me with my thoughts, so that doesn't work. But like doing something where I have to actually focus on it. So Like there's a lot of games I play, like this Block Blast game I play. Skippo, Yahtzee, something where I gotta like actually concentrate on
Where
what
you
I'm
can't
doing.
you can't listen to the mind chatter. You're completely occupied by another task.
Yeah.
I use the music a lot. It's the reason I was telling you guys to be doing the 8D or 16D music, because using the earbuds, it alternates back and forth from right brain to left brain. So it's music, but you're more occupied than just a song that you know already, without it just bounces back and forth just long enough for you not to be able to focus on it. But I need some new tools, because not all times can I just pull out some music.
Huh. I don't know what happened to my camera. All right. Yeah, I'm going to get some headphones. I don't have any headphones right now. So once I get some, I'm going to listen to that and see if that helps quiet my mind down. Maybe I have to do it this one. Huh.
Can leave and come back in.
We'd have to start the whole live over if I leave.
Oh.
I just camera device settings.
What happened?
My camera stopped working for some reason.
She hit a button and the screen went to her avatar, but there's no avatar showing right now. It's just.
Yeah, let me see if I can put a different avatar up, and then I'll figure this out later.
That'll be all right. Just throw you an avatar up. Oh.
Every day with you, it's something.
Look, I mean,
it's either your light going out, or everything goes out, or
there we go. We'll use cows.
All right.
Just because I don't really have very many pictures on. Actually, there is a picture of me. Hold on. I'll switch it.
Oh, I love this weather, but I hate when the weather changes.
I usually get a cold or something when weather changes.
Oh, my allergies play up so bad. And it's like I can't take any more medication than I'm already taking. I can't do it.
Crystal, Michelle was asking, other than medication, how do you deal with your depression, anxiety?
I don't think I'm really like depressed anymore, but like when I get anxious,
Oh, I found it. Yes.
There you are. She found the magic camera.
Well, it finally popped up on the bottom that it was to say start camera. So
it says your camera's off, and you're like, I know, computer, I know this.
Well, because on the bottom where it says like mute, stop cam, etc.
Right.
It just was saying stop cam this whole time, and then finally it popped up start cam, and I'm like, huh.
So crazy. Well, music helps. Driving around will help a lot. Like driving along Riverside will help.
Not down here.
Well, I love Riverside, so it's like one of my favorite roads around here. Like driving up and down Riverside. I love to drive too. Like I love to get in a car and drive. I don't even care. Like the people around here can't drive anything. I don't care.
So you pick something that takes you completely out of the situation as well.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Like I just, it's like music will help and driving will help, and like I like to get in the car and scream.
You get to the car and what?
I scream.
Scream.
I'll just get in the car and just start screaming about what's going on. And so it's like I'll get it out. It's like if I'm frustrated, I'll just scream it all out, and then I feel a lot better afterwards.
Oh, well, yeah, that's cathartic. It's like breaking plates or something,
It's like I'll be driving down the road, just wailing and everything, and then by the time I get home, I'm good.
Oh, it's one of those days.
Stop all that. No yawning. That's contagious.
It's a no whining, no yawning zone.
It's a gloomy day. I know you guys can't tell from the window, but it's actually pretty dark outside.
We finally got some sunshine today. We had a gloomy day yesterday.
It's been raining.
This time of year doesn't help these disorders either. This gray season does not help the situation either.
Well,
Do either one of you supplement with vitamin D in the wintertime to try to help out with that?
I was on vitamin D for a while, but I haven't been. My levels caught up.
Right.
Because I was actually on vitamin D. Like I was on the very high dosage of vitamin D.
Right. I take D and K2 every day, so just to help. It's supposed to help. So.
I don't take any vitamins. They upset my stomach, so.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, you ladies are quiet.
I don't know. I seriously, I think part of it is like I
thrown off.
I got a little anxious starting it because no one was here, and I'm like, I guess I'm doing this by myself.
Oh no! I was trying. I was like, come on, phone.
Yeah,
I pulled up to this house for 2 minutes to Sarah. I was like, oh my gosh, connect.
Like that's never happened before. Like I had my alarm set for like 11, like it's supposed to, and I'm like, I'm just gonna shut my eyes, and I should have set the snooze, and I didn't. And next thing I know, I'm popping up, and I'm like, oh my god! And I look at the clock, and it's like 12, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me!
I tried calling you, so you must have your sound off.
I put my phone on Do Not Disturb when I go to bed, and I hadn't turned that off yet.
I'm having the last 2 weeks put into that too, where I don't turn my phone on until I'm fixing to get ready to leave to go to work in the morning. I just leave the phone completely off. You just don't even know how much that's helped. Not search on the phone first thing in the morning of all the negativity that's all over the wherever,
Yeah.
It really has helped.
That Do Not Disturb, you get absolutely no notifications of anything.
I don't do that just because of what happened with my mom. So I just
Right.
my phone is.
Well, my husband has his own 24/7, and they know if there's a problem, they can call him, or else I probably wouldn't be able to do it either. They know that if there's in any emergency, they're to call his phone anyway, because, I mean, I may not even know where my phone is at the time they call me. So, like, I have my phone, but where is it? I don't know, I don't know.
Yeah.
Especially if I have the grandbabies. I'm like, where did I put the phone? And then I end up looking for it, and one of the babies has got it listening to YouTube or something. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Luckily, it's my camera, so I always have it. So.
Right. True. True.
Man, I didn't write like keynotes for this because I figured, I suffer from it. I can talk about
I
it.
figure all three of us will have enough to talk about. That was me. I didn't look at it at all. I didn't look at any. I like to look on Helpline. I don't know what you get your information from, but I really like the tactics they use on Helpline and how they word their stuff. I can usually understand whatever they're trying to explain to me on there. That's one of the reasons why I keep going back. But just to learn, because a lot of people will use anxiety, just use the word, or depression, and they're not either clinically. Yeah. If you were to go to the physician for it, you wouldn't clinically be diagnosed with either one of those. But so it's a loose term. A lot of people use it nowadays. And
I think a lot of people do use it loosely nowadays. Sometimes they'll they'll get upset about something and then they'll start saying they got anxiety about something, or they'll say
like, no,
panic attack or whatever, and it's like, that's not what that is.
No, you got over that way too quick for it to be an anxiety attack. I mean,
exactly.
that went way too quick and smoothly for you. That's not how it goes with me.
Yeah. It's like they don't know what those things are. They hear the terms and everything, and then they're like, oh my, it's like, I got upset too. And it's like, yeah, you got upset.
Yeah, you sure didn't have no episode.
You didn't have an 8-day depressive disorder and can't pull yourself out of it either because it happens. That's where I could be at some. Like, I haven't uploaded on either one of my channels in quite some time because I just don't. I call it a funk, but it's just, I don't feel like it. I feel like when I've tried to record some videos and it comes across really angry, upset, and attitudey, and I just don't. I'm like, I can't put that out there. I don't want to put that vibe out there, So I just don't do it. But it takes a minute. Do either one of you listen to Elise Myers?
No.
If you've ever thought of any of this that we're going through and you think, I don't know how to explain that to somebody, boy, let me tell you, she can explain what's happening in real time and make you understand what's happening in someone like us. I forget what she was explaining the last time I listened to her, but I thought, boy, I wish I had those words to explain it to a lot of people like that back in the day, like to explain it to them like that. Like she's also OCD as I am, and she was walking herself through just doing the dishes. And she got so caught up in this loop of negativity that she just couldn't start doing the dishes. And how hard can it be to start doing the dishes? And anyway, it really got me, that video did. I was like, boy, she can express it.
That one.
You have? Where she keeps over and over in the loop. She washes her hands.
Yeah, because she's like, she goes to start the dishes and then she sees something that doesn't belong there, so she goes to take that back. Laundry needs started, so she starts the laundry, and then there's some that need folded. She goes to start folding, and then the living room needs picked up or something like along those lines, and then she gets back to the dishes, and then it might not have been her, but I seen it on TikTok. So
right.
But I see something like that on TikTok. I don't know if it was her or not.
Right. She's so expressive. I just see the word she uses. I'm thinking that's exactly what's happening, but I couldn't explain it that way to nobody if I tried. She's
Yeah.
got the words to explain it. Maybe she has more schooling, or maybe she's had more therapy to explain it to her. I don't know, but I really enjoy her commentary of it. Like I'm a housekeeper, and when I first got started on the OCD lines is if the family were at home and I had to start my process in a different way than I'm normally doing my process, I could take up to an hour and a half to get started because I have to talk myself into doing it in the opposite order that I was doing it in, if that makes any sense. Like my body feels like I didn't do it because I started in this room versus this room kind of thing. So it was so bad that I'm only cleaning for people who are at work by the time I get here. And if they are here when I get here, then I go do a couple of errands and come back. And give them time to get out of my way. Just get out of my way. If I don't have to deal with them in order to do my job too, that's better for me.
Yeah.
But there's also anxiety to go with that too, is because I may not feel like conversating this morning. Like I might not want to talk to you about just stupid stuff is what I call it, like chatter, like small talk. I'm not a good small talker in situations where, these are people that I work for. I don't really have anything in common with them besides the fact that I work for them. And I just rather not have that little.
The coworkers are different, I think. Like
what now? I
said coworkers are different. Sometimes it's different with coworkers to have like you were talking about coworkers, right?
Well, I mean, I'm a housekeeper in personal home, so I show up in like the house. The people who own the house are in my way, like they're not out of the house yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think I could work with people anymore.
I get the same. People can, it's weird with people.
It's how they say it. If they say something and then my mind starts going and say, well, what do they mean by that? But I don't know I'm good enough to ask them, well, what do you mean by that? That could set my whole day off because I'll think about that for days and days and days. Something small that they said that I'm like, what do they mean by that?
Yeah, like people can mess with you and it's just really weird. And so it's like coworkers were always an issue for me too, because it's like I would try to have relationships sometimes with coworkers and they would always have their groups and they would like never let me in, or if they did let me in, it was always kind of like, like they were doing it just because I was a coworker.
Yeah.
And and I would find out like afterwards that like all the girls had like gone out the night before or something like that. And I'm like,
and nobody called and asked you to go or whatever. That is the situation, man.
I'd be in like the same, like similar age group as one or two of them. So it's like, well, where was my invite?
Right.
And so it's like that kind of stuff causes anxiety because it's like,
what's wrong with me?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And so, yeah, coworkers can be a cause for, like depression or, like work anxiety because you wonder, like, do these people like me or not? Like, do they want me here? So, yeah, work anxiety is a thing. Definitely.
When I worked when I had coworkers that I had to contend with, my focus was a whole lot different than their focus. I would say when I actually got started and focused on something, and so that kind of caused some tension because I used to get called an overachiever a lot. Like, I'm not trying to do more than you. I'm just trying to do my job well.
Yeah, I mean, that works differently than some people do too. So it's
like, why are you faulting me for trying to do my job well? I'm not trying to show you up. I'm just trying to do my job well.
Yeah.
I've done so many times. Can't you just slow down a little bit? You're making the rest of us look bad. Like, they're paying us to work. They're not paying us to be friends. And
yeah.
Anyway.
Melissa always called me the overachiever.
Well, okay. So before I did my substitute teaching thing, I worked at Zaxby's for like 2 months, which was a mistake because it was crap on my back. But I ran circles around the children that worked there, and I'm gonna call them children that work there.
Probably were.
And they told me, one of them sat there and said, "You're working too hard," and I said, "And you're not working enough."
You're not working hard enough. So.
And then I quit because the manager came up to one of the kids that was literally about to graduate high school and said, "I think you'd be a great manager. Would you be interested in, looking into being a shift manager?" And I'm sitting there thinking, "Are you crapping me? This kid does nothing."
Right.
Oh, so I quit. I was like, nah.
Yeah, I had that kind of issue at when I worked at Burger King because they legit like promoted a girl to management because she got pregnant, and it was just so she could have more money.
Or medical insurance for the baby, which is still not right. Like, if I deserved it, I deserved it. I worked for a doctor's office most of the times. I would work for doctor's offices. I've got a insurance license to file, and the head lady over accounts receivable wasn't pulling in as much money as I was. And she was like, "Can you just slow down? You're making me look bad." And I'm like, "Well, there's the manager. I mean, make your own self look good. Don't tell me to slow down to make you, I can't help that my work is making you look bad. Maybe you should up your ante."
Yeah.
Yeah, that was irritating. She was a bitch to begin with, and then making her management just made her even worse. I know, because like she was a manager because my gallbladder went bad when I was at Burger King. I had my gallbladder out in my early 20s, which is kind of weird. But anyway, so it was going bad while I was there, and I was getting like really, really sick before it had to come out.
Right.
And so like I was constantly throwing up. And so like a day or two before the surgery, I was like preparing to not be there, and I was like about to get sick, and she was in my way, and I was like telling her like, "Excuse me," and she was like, "What's wrong with you?" And everyone else knew, so it's like, why don't you? And
you think we get firsthand experience, right? If you don't get out of the way.
And so I told her that I was sick, and she was like, "Are you fucking serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then I told her that I was gonna, that I was leaving, and she was like, "Why are you leaving?" And I'm like, "I'm not even gonna be here. Like, I'm leaving today, and I'm not coming back. I'm gonna have surgery." And she's like, "Are you serious? For what?" I'm like, "Oh my god!" And she's lucky I didn't puke on her. But she had this huge freaking head, and giving her management did not help. It just made her worse.
Power goes straight to their heads.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I've seen a kid really hurt himself at Burger King. Speaking of Burger King, he stuck his hand in the deep fryer without his glove on.
Oh my god!
I was like, what was he on? Because like that's 1,000-degree heat. Hello. I mean, I just stood there for a minute. I thought, what did I just witness? And he said it didn't hurt for a while. It was just, I was like, oh my god, what did you do?
You witnessed an idiot, I think.
Oh, it was bad. I called the store manager. Well, we don't have a manager on duty. I'm fixing to go home, and this kid just stuck his hand in the deep fryer, and he's like, his hand? Yeah, his whole hand. Like, his skin's dripping off, dude. Come on, go up here. I can't deal with this. Oh, stuck his hand in the, yeah, it's like he has no outer layer of skin left. Please come here or meet him at the emergency room or something. I cannot go.
Like, was it his hand? Because he did his foot yesterday.
I mean, he went all the way down to elbow, girl, like all the way down. Yeah. He was told to clean the deep fryer. Well, you got to pull the drain out. Well, hello. Anyway, literally, you're a dumb bleep. An idiot. I'm like, don't put me with him anymore. I don't want to work with him no more. Nope.
Oh my gosh. Mate, I don't see why you would you tell someone stuck their hand in the into the deep fryer and they would actually they go into the deep fryer and it's like their hand. Like what is that? Why is that your question?
Let's clean the deep fryer. How about you pull the plug out of the bottom of it? I mean,
seriously.
Anyway.
Oh my god. Your question should not be and make it sound like, oh, really, man. It wasn't that one.
It's like, well, one guy was like, he'd never done that before. Well, he should have led with that. He should have been like, I don't know how. There's a big old glove behind you. First of all, put it on.
Yes. Yeah. They have gloves to touch in there. And
yeah, they were triple bay too, so there was still stuff frying in the other thing. And I had another kid, when the timer come up, he pulled his basket out. I'm like, you can't serve those. So you can't serve those. This guy's full layer of skins in there.
Oh, ew.
It's like you cannot serve those. I mean, this kid no qualms. He was about to serve up the stuff if I hadn't been there.
Oh, God.
I'll shut the store down. Somebody call 911. He's like, what do we do? What do we put on it? I'm like, I'm not touching it. I'm not putting a darn thing on it. Yeah. We're calling the ambulance. They can figure that out on their own.
Yeah, I gotta call biohazard people to clean that thing now.
Oh, I couldn't believe that one guy was just going to keep serving out of it. I'm like, oh wow.
And that one dude, if he wasn't screaming, he's got SEPA or something.
Well, it was at first, he said when he finally did return to work, he said at first it didn't hurt at all. I don't know, it just didn't hurt him at all. He's like, I didn't feel it at all, and then he did feel it, and it was terrible. But for a minute, he didn't even act like anything had happened. It was bad.
How do you shove your hand into boiling hot grease?
Well, I'm sure there was some kind of drugs involved. I don't know, but he wasn't thinking properly for real. I don't know what he was on, but give me something. No, I'm joking. I don't know what he was taking, but most of them that I know, most of them were taking something. When I was older than the kid bunch that I was working with, but man.
I'd ask if that was bath salts era, but I think bath salts had people eating faces and not shoving their hands in here deep fryers.
Yeah, there's a way to do that, and that wasn't it. In case nobody knew that wasn't the way to do things, please don't do it the way he just did it. That's the proper way.
The tongs, please.
When I first started working there, there had been more than a year since they had changed the oil in the stupid thing. A year.
Ugh, that's disgusting.
I was like, well, no wonder people are complaining about it tasting burnt. The oil can only be burnt so many times. It's no good. Anyway, of course, that was part of my OCD because I like cleaning. That's the reason I landed on this job here. Some of it is therapy for me while I'm not at home because I can do it at somebody else's house the way I want to do it at my house. Because I'm not putting, when you're doing it at your house, you're putting away things and then you're cleaning, and then you find something and you walk away and you put things away. Here, I just clean things. I don't put, if something's left out, it's just there it is. I don't put it away. I wish I could do that at my house. Just focus on the cleaning and don't worry about putting all the little things away.
Yeah.
That's not the way.
What? Attention-seeking whore. What? Attention-seeking butthead was what?
I need a better word instead of that one.
She's a pain in the ears.
Don't look at me like that. You know you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yeah. 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 What do you want? Don't. You're gonna knock the phone off. Silly.
That's what she wants to do. She wants to knock the phone off.
So what kind of tools do you guys use to get yourself out of a depressive episode?
The only one, the mood stable. I have Buperon. That's the pill that I have. But it's not. It's a mood stabilizer. So I don't really have any pills that get me out of anything. Like I said, I just.
Well, I meant tools, not pills. Tools like.
Oh.
How do you deal with it when you are in a depressive episode? How do you try to bring yourself back around to see things differently?
For me, it's just the car and screaming my head off.
Gotcha.
That works the best. That's like my best tool right there is just going down Riverside and screaming my head off. It gets the most stuff out. In the driver's go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
You
were talking
right here might make it to where you can really scream at people. Melissa knows the driver here.
Oh.
It makes it easy to drive at like to scream at random things and stuff like that too, because there's always someone that's gonna cut you off or do something stupid. So if I'm not screaming at something going on in my life, I can scream at a stupid idiot on the road. It's in the comfort of my own car. So
she finds somebody to yell at, just not herself. She just drives around till she finds an idiot to yell at.
Exactly.
Come here, idiot, let me unload on you all the things that are going wrong today.
Exactly.
You mean throat punching at Walmart is not acceptable?
No, it's not. They banned that already.
Dadgummit.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, that'll get you in a little bit of trouble, but you can scream in your car, which is no.
You're making noise.
Makes me think of a funny thing about screaming in the car. Back to an episode at Walmart with the kids, and they weren't behaving. And I mean, they were really into it that day. And so this is another day that I just dropped everything I had in the grocery cart and just took them back to the car. Y'all are being little butt heads. Let's just go back to the car and go back home. But when I got in the car, they got in the back of the car, and I was looking forward, not at them, but I was yelling at them about the situation that had just happened. And the windows were cracked, I don't know, probably about 2 inches all the way around. Everybody's window was cracked. And this lady pulls up beside me on my passenger side, walks around the car to me and ducks in and looks in my window. Are you okay? Excuse me? You hear me yelling at my children. I'm not physically hurting them. You know, do you want to get in? Would you like the backlash of this yelling instead of them? You want to take the brunt, or, you know, just stay out of my business, woman?
Yeah. Wow.
I'm like, I'm not touching them. I'm yelling, but I am not touching them. That's a long way for me, okay, woman? So just keep on keeping on. If you didn't yell at your children, I don't know who you are or how you deal with things, but this is a learning curve for me and my children, and this is the way I handle it at the moment. So get out of my face.
I don't understand the people who say, like, who talk about, like, not yelling at their kids, and, like, how do you not yell?
Well, it's hard not to when you're in the thick of things. I was probably not even 30 at the time, so the boys were 12 and 8, somewhere along in there. I mean, they're kids, but I didn't have the tools to deal with it at the time, so that's how I dealt with it. But it can be done, and I know now, but it's hard when you're in the thick of things to figure things out. When you know, you're just trying to get it all done before bedtime. However that happens, it happens, you know. But yeah, I don't understand that either, like how they do it and not yell at their children. But
I know you get these people that are like, you say you said something or whatever, and it's like, oh my God, that's so traumatic. What do you mean? No, it was an argument.
Yeah.
Like,
No, what would have been traumatic is if I had lost it and lost my cool and just whipped them all the way from the front door to the car. That's what I wanted to do that day. I just didn't do that.
exactly.
So better choices were made, better choices were made that day.
Wow.
But from that day forward, they never went to Walmart with me again. I told my husband, you can keep the kids at home while I go to Walmart. It's not a day out. It's not a time out for me. It's not pleasurable. But definitely taking them with me is not pleasurable. So here, you keep them and I'll go shopping. Or I'll stay here and you go shopping. You decide. I don't care who does it. Somebody got to go buy bread.
Yeah, it's like
we have to eat.
The game, it's a chore. So
right. There's a thing to talk about on depression and anxiety is forced tasks.
Things that you have to do that have to get done, and
yeah, that trips me more than anything. I mean, pleasurable things, of course, you didn't, but like those forced, like dishes. Like when my doctor told me that you're ignoring and not doing the dishes and that has something to do with your depression, I thought, you're crazy. But now that I've gotten a little older and looked at it, that all forced tasks can trigger an emotion for me. Like, I don't want to be vacuuming for the whole family. Sometimes I get mad at it. Like, why do I have to be the one to do it?
Yeah.
I know that sounds terrible, but like, why is it me? Why do I have to do it? Why can't somebody else do it? I went on mom strike when my boys were smaller. I think Austin was 7 and Sean was 11. I mean, let me tell you, I went to Walmart and I picked up poster board and I wrote on that son of a gun, Mom is on strike. There will be no meals made. There will be no clothes washed. Everybody is now responsible for themselves. Period. End of subject. I didn't cook that week. I didn't coddle nobody. If you needed your underwear washed, you better wash your underwear because I'm not doing it anymore. But I also worked full time. Like, there was too much on my plate. My husband worked too, but still, somebody else should have been doing some of these chores. But I went on strike, and I had the teacher calling me. Miss Reese, is your husband not taking care of the kids first thing in the morning? No, I am. Why? Well, both of their teachers. Well, they're coming in, and Austin's teacher was like, now he's getting made fun of at school because he smells a little bit, and he's not taking care of himself. And I'm like, well, he's 7. He made that choice to go to school without a bath, without clean clothes. So let the kids make fun of him. Maybe he'll get the point that he needs to take a bath. That's what I'm trying to instill here. And I said, and as far as dirty clothing, well, he's responsible for washing his own clothing. So you can have this conversation with him if you'd like. And she was like, okay. So done. Mom is on strike this week. So whatever happens, happens, woman. So, but it did work. He did start wearing deodorant and washing his clothing like he was supposed to. So it did work. But like, I had to pull all the stops out. I just went on strike. I'm not doing it. My husband was like, "You really think the kids need to be doing their own dinner? I don't care if they eat cereal all week. I'm not doing it." So,
big cereal man, cereal good.
But he was like, "The kids can't wash their own clothes." I said, "They can reach the washing machine. It's not hard. You put soap in it. You start it. You come get them, put them in the dryer, and they're finished. I mean, it's not hard. It's just time consuming." So, but my husband ended up making all of his clothing pink too that week because he washed all his clothes together instead of separating them out. And I didn't fix it. I didn't fix it till the next week. I made him wear pink underwear and pink socks. And I'm talking, my husband is a manly man. That just irritated the hell out of him that he had to wear pink everything. He didn't come ask how to do it. He just thought he knew how to do it, so he done it, and then all his clothes were pink.
Yeah, see, it probably wasn't that the son had to do it; it was that he had to do it.
Oh, I mean, bath towels and everything. If you want it, you're going to have to wash it and procure it yourself because I'm not doing it. So it was a learning experience for all of them, I'm telling you.
So he was probably projecting. It probably wasn't that the
Oh,
son had to do it; it was that
yeah, he washed a brand new red T-shirt with all of his clothes. I mean, that renders you pink socks and underwear, sir.
And so he was probably like, well, he can't do it. And that he was probably him. And then you find out that it really was him when his stuff came out pink.
Oh, yeah. No, he came to me to fix it. Can you fix my laundry today? And I'm like, nope, I sure can't. What happened? He said, so he brought me the load of clothes. And I was like, oh, well, that's an interesting situation you got going on.
Well, that's a pretty color, isn't it?
Call your mama and ask her how to fix that. Your wife is on strike. There's no wife and no mama here, so figure it out. He has his own kid now. Remember that time you went on strike? Oh, me. I think sometimes people don't understand all the jobs, the tasks that are required like that, the forced tasks, Like I got 4 people in my household right now. That's a lot of dishes, and I don't have a dishwasher. I am the dishwasher. That's a lot of dishes. I also homemake everything I make. Like with biscuits, I've homemade those biscuits, so it took probably 4 pieces of something to make biscuits.
How my mama was.
I'm getting a lot of scammy comments on my stuff, like links and stuff, not the good ones, and comments under my stuff.
Yeah, I don't click any links people.
I don't click any links either, but I'm just deleting them. But I'm getting, just this week particularly, I've gotten a lot more than normal. I don't know what's up with that. Somebody must be bored. I must have made somebody mad. That's what I say when I see all this come up. I must have made somebody mad. You ladies are too quiet today now. Talk.
Well, that sucked.
What?
I just ordered something and my total was like 30 something when I hit and checked out. And then they added a $4.99 express delivery fee after I already paid.
Nobody asked me if I wanted it expressly, huh?
No, there was no options.
Well, listen, I don't be careful of things like that. Now, I did that on one site, and it took out, I don't know how much money they ended up taking out of my account, because it said one amount, and then when I hit checkout, it was like a $500 charge, and I was like, no, that's not what I said. I did not okay that, but they just kept charging it to my account. It took us forever to get that money back.
Oh yeah, they'll pull it out like instantly, but then when you want it back, it's like, well, it's going to take it's like
5 to 7 business days to credit your account, and then you call them back or 5 to 7 business days, and I'm like, well, it's going to take me 5 or 7. No, you should have took care of it 7 days ago. Somebody needs to do it right now.
Well, we're processing that for you, but your bank is giving it like, no, my bank is.
That situation made me mad because I called my bank right after I got off the phone with the people, and they were like, well, we can't, if they're willing to refund you the money, then we can't do anything. And I'm like, well, daggum, if I'd have known that, I wouldn't have called them. I'd have just called my bank and said, they won't give me my money back. But anyway, they're like, well, since we're going to give you the refund, then we can't step in until it's fraudulent charge. I'm like, well, it's definitely fraudulent charges because I didn't authorize $500 worth of money.
And like most likely they haven't contacted your bank at all. Because
I'm like, listen, I mean, the $500, if you 7 days, I'm gonna be out of a job by then. We won't be able to eat. You just don't understand what that money means to me.
Mm-hmm.
They finally done it, but I learned my lesson for sure. Thought, well, I'll never go through some of those sites again. Scammers.
most of them are.
My husband's like, well, if it was too good of a deal, too good to be true, then it really is too good to be true. It's not legit if it's too good to be true. Yeah. What are you ladies doing this weekend? Any big plans?
I think
We
I'm
might
just working.
go ahead.
I'm working. But
We are probably going to go to a craft fair tomorrow, and then Sunday
that
we're
sounds
going to birthday dinner with my dad.
Aw,
tell him I say
family
happy.
time.
Do what?
Tell him I say happy birthday.
I will. And then what'd you say, Michelle?
I said that will be fun. Going out
Yeah.
to dinner with family will be fun.
Yeah,
I like arts and crafts fairs too. We just had one here. I didn't go to this one that showed up, but there's always one up here at our state park once a year. They just had it last weekend.
We need to look and see if we have anything like any of those here.
I think we're going to be going to Nashville to my son's apartment. I've been there once. His dad's never been there. We're going to take him a piece of furniture that we were supposed to take months ago. And of course, that entails the little baby, the grandbaby, so that's always fun.
We've
And then Sunday, we probably just recover Sunday. We have big plans to go put out our deer stands. We hunt. I don't know if y'all hunt or not, but
no.
it's, bow season open in 2 weeks, and we still haven't got any kind of structure up to hide ourselves to go hunt. So we're running behind this year.
If I did First Friday, I could probably do arts and crafts stuff. The second Saturday, they'll probably have stuff around downtown.
Probably.
It would just be difficult, like finding a place to park the car. Unless I like Ubered myself out there. So I'd have to like really want to go out and do it.
I just can't go to one of those fairs and not buy anything. Right now, my husband works seasonally, so he's fixing to be finished for the season, and so he gets a little tighter this time of year. He does other things, but other things that, if it happens, like plumbing or such, not something standard or that we can rely on. So we're in putting back mode and saving money and trying not to just buy anything, So I can't do those because I'm not a good go and don't spend girl. I go and find me something. And I'm like, oh, I gotta have it.
Yeah, we usually don't go to them because of that, but we have a little bit of extra money from my settlement, so we can go.
Have fun, finally do something that you enjoy.
Yeah.
That's always nice. I want to explore my son's apartment complex. He lives in Nashville, and he's like, Mama, I don't think you really need to do that. I'm like, well, I'm doing it, so you can walk with me if you want, but I got to get the stroller and take little man through his apartment complex. On the apartment they were living in before this one, well, of course, he's not with the lady that I'm talking about, but anyway, where he was living, they have 2 girls, and we come up to visit and walked around the whole apartment complex and found a play place out there, slides and swings and all kinds of stuff that they didn't even know were there, and they had lived there for 4 years already.
Oh, wow.
That is sad that these kids don't know that this park thing is back here. I just think that's sad. Maybe that's my generation. I don't know. But I'm like, nobody ever takes the kids to the park, to the little apartment complex park.
They keep them locked in the house these days.
I mean, always. And when the little 9-year-old comes to my house, she's always got that phone in her face, and that really bugs me too. I'm like, she's too young to already be sitting there all day with the phone in her hand, you know. Of course, she's playing games and all kinds of stuff, not just staring at the phone, but you know what I mean. Like, can we go do something fun instead of staying in here with the phone? That'd be nice.
Yeah.
That's not how they're being raised, so I can't really. I can only encourage them to do other things when they're with me. Let's go outside. I love to go outside.
Luckily,
Are
my
y'all
nephew.
nature people?
No.
No, no.
Maybe if I didn't live in Florida, I'd go outside
Yeah.
more, but it's too
That's
hot.
true. It's always hot and maybe in Florida, isn't it? If any of this gets too loud, you let me know because I'm walking through the house and dusting
Okay.
all the stuff. All the stuff.
Oh, sorry.
Stop it.
I think the main problem is I ate before I got on, and now I'm tired.
I ate a little bit too, but I also am drinking a Bang energy drink, so I'm not falling asleep on you. I seen my niece. They would hurt me if they heard me say that. My nephews at Dollar Tree when I went in earlier. I don't get to see them often because they're more than an hour away from us. So I walked past the aisle and I looked and just keep going. I was like, wait a minute, those people look familiar. So I backed up to see. Like, wait a minute, I think those people look familiar. Oh no. My little nephew was like, well, hey, how'd you get here? Same way you did. How'd you get here? Oh, Lord. So then that's why I didn't get here on time. Like, I gotta go. You're supposed to be somewhere already.
Well, we appreciate you joining us today.
Yes.
Yeah, no problem.
We like the company.
I think next time we'll just have to remember not to eat, because usually I don't eat before.
She likes to eat her chips during the show.
Oh, well, that day I didn't feel good, so I had to have something.
Mukbang for free.
I think if I would have ate something that I had at the house, it would have been fine, but I wanted to try that stupid pumpkin spice frosty. So I went to Wendy's.
I haven't
Was it any good? Was it any good?
It wasn't horrible, but it tasted like caramel, not pumpkin spice.
See, I'm not a big pumpkin person, but like, that sounds good.
I don't think anything's going to beat the chocolate one. They just...
Their birthday cake one was good.
I didn't
And
try
where was this? Wendy's? Wendy's. Mm-hmm. I wanted to try the strawberry.
Oh, God.
Not any good. It sounded good. Wasn't it good?
Tastes like cough
syrup. Is it like a Pepto-Bismol or cough syrup?
Yeah. It tastes like cough syrup to me.
Too much fake strawberry in it, huh?
Probably. It was not good.
See, I don't like that strawberry Nesquik stuff, and my son was like, you won't like it because it tastes just like that. Like an artificially flavor.
Now, I like the Hershey strawberry syrup in milk.
Mm-hmm.
But I can also control how much I put in, so.
Right. You can make it to your liking.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
So what's your next topic? Have you decided what your next topic is going to be?
No.
Is it cancel culture, or is it what's bugging me today? Or
Let me see. Let me see what we have written down. If it'll load. Oh wait, that's because I hit the wrong one. I'm like, why isn't there anything there? All right, so we still have cancel culture. Did social media ruin society? What's irritating you right now? The supernatural, TV and movie curses. Am I the asshole? Expectation versus reality.
I love those things on shorts. Am I the asshole?
I almost think like cancel culture and did social media ruin society? Is that what that one is?
Yeah.
I almost think those two could combine.
I say yes to that. I say yes to that.
I think, yeah, maybe they could be combined, but I don't know.
Because they go together. Because cancel culture came out of.
Cancel culture is a big thing right now with the things in today's news or yesterday's news or whenever the news came out.
Freaking cancel culture.
Because it grew out of social media, so I almost think they could combine.
I think it's because with social media, more people could
cancel more people,
get their word out more.
Yeah, you could. I think because I'm sure it existed before, but it grew out of social media.
Yeah,
I think besides the social media, people wouldn't person to person be doing the things they're doing without social media.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of keyboard pirates, they feel comfortable saying things behind the keyboard, but if you ever got them face to face,
they would never say it.
Yeah. We were the last generation that actually showed up to throw hands and showed up to throw hands. We didn't just tell you online we was going to throw hands. Oh, gosh.
I love how she said that because the other day I texted Justin, said, you better get out here right now. He came out and he said, what's wrong? I said, if that neighbor says one more thing to me, I'm about to throw some hands.
See, we went over, stopped over to the neighbor's house, banged on the door and said, listen, beep, we're fixing to be throwing hands if you don't quit that crap. Oh my gosh. And then I have an example of that since we kind of went off topic anyway. We have 2 new neighbors in our neighborhood. This was a couple of years ago. Listen, I can be a spitfire if I need to be. But this is a Saturday morning, and Saturdays are the only days I can sleep in regardless. The only day.
Mm-hmm.
So before me sleeping in, I think that neighbors need to be neighborly. I know their schedule, they know my schedule kind of thing. Our new neighbor moved in, and on that Saturday morning, he started a wood chipper, an electric wood chipper at 5 a.m. on Saturday.
Okay. Death.
The neighbor beside him had just moved in for weekends only. We live at the lake. She brought all of her children, 2 years old, 4 years old, and 6 years old, and her husband, and they were up late doing fires and such. And of course, that wood chipper woke her 3 kids up. So she went to go say something. She was about to leave their camper out the front door, and he said, no, give it 5 more minutes. And she was like, no, I'm fixing to go give him a piece of my mind. He said, listen, if you'll wait 5 more minutes, the lady across the street is fixing to fix the new asshole.
Yeah. Like that neighbor chose death today. So
I took just long enough to put on decent clothing, threw on rain boots, and directly went across the street to this man. So he turns the wood chipper off, and I was like, are you kidding me? It's 5 a.m., dude. Like on Saturday. It's 5 a.m. You're the new person to the neighborhood. This is not the way you want to come into a neighborhood. It's not it. In case somebody didn't explain these things to you. Etiquette of a neighborhood. Well, I got to return it at noon. I said, well, that's not my problem. My problem right now is that I'm awake talking to you about a wood chipper at 5 a.m. in the morning. Like, I can't even see you right now. It's so dark. So it's way too early to be running any kind of electric anything.
Yeah, he's gonna start finding things in places
Yeah,
he doesn't
so
find them.
I said more than that bunch of choice words, and the guy across the street was looking at his wife like, see, I told you if you just give her 5 more minutes to go over here and take care of it. He turned it off until 7, and then he started it again at 7. We're all up now. Go for it. Now, you don't woke us all up. So, but anyway, the next day, my husband went over there to prove home the point that this guy is a part-timer, what we call part-time. We live there full-time. He's a part-timer in the good, every other weekend maybe. And Mike was like, that we're the only full-time people on this side of the neighborhood, and we watch over all these properties while y'all are not here, and we can clearly look the other way if that's how you want to play the game. Clearly. While you're not here, nobody will be watching your property. That's up to you. But from here forward is the way we need to play the game if that's what you're interested in. And so the guy was like, he said something, I forget what he said. He was like, no, but like I said, you have a lot of stuff here, and what if I don't see somebody back up and take it all? We can be good neighbors, but we also can be bad neighbors. It's up to you. But it's just not the way you come into a neighborhood, sir.
What if we're the ones calling the people to come pick up your stuff?
I mean, I know a lot of people. I'm just saying, we just go look the other way and not call you and tell you somebody's stealing from you.
What if we call Scrapper Steve and we're like, hey, there's a house over here that's been abandoned and there's some stuff outside you can come and take.
I'm not saying I do any of that. I'm just saying the tables can be turned, sir, if that's the way you want to play the game. But you're new to the neighborhood. You need to come in to be nice for at least the first 6 months. He hasn't even been there a whole week, and he done pissed off the whole neighborhood at 5 o'clock on Saturday morning.
Now, you don't do that, dude. Your welcome basket gets revoked.
No. Go back wherever you came from.
You're going to get doggy dookie on your front porch, and it's going to be fun. And
yeah. Mm-hmm.
You're going to get pizzas you didn't order, and he peed on Halloween, and he's not going to like that neighbor. Like, oh, look, we got a house to TP. We can find it this year, man. So, toilet paper is
loading with all kinds of carcasses in his property. What is that smell? I don't know.
I don't know. It's not 2020.
It might be the carcass I buried out there, but I'm not saying it is.
I found a few dead rodents outside, and I just had to find a place to put them.
Oh, man.
That house looked like a good spot. I mean, there was a wood chipper over there.
And we're in like a little community that's not, I don't know what the word is for it. Anyway, there's not like a lot of rules. I mean, that somebody else is governing this little neighborhood. It's just the people.
Are you in like a snowbird area, or is it like we're permanent? Like, because you said like you guys are like the only ones who like are always there.
We're the only full timers on that part of the meaning we live here year round. Most of the people that are up here right now are just vacationers, the weekenders or summer goers. So we live right by the lake. It's Kentucky Lake.
Okay, so
a lot of them are retired or vacationers. The other people that live on, when they come in for whatever time they're coming in.
So you probably have an area like what my sister has for her boat, for like her like summer house or whatever. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah, we have lake access. There's a boat dock out in. Yeah, I mean we're right on the water. A bunch of idiots is what we get. A bunch of people that don't know the lake. We've seen lots of accidents out there on that lake just simply because people didn't know the lake, doing crazy stuff, going real fast in areas they didn't know.
Yeah, I guess I guess she was like a beach house or whatever, but it's not really. But she doesn't live in hers. I mean, she would be like a weekender or whatever, but she wants to live in it. I think they got a new one though, so I don't know. I haven't been to the new one.
Unincorporated was the terminology I was looking for. Our little area is unincorporated, so there's not like, I own chickens, and if I wanted a cow or a pig or whatever out there, I could put it out there. They got the neighborhood got upset over my chickens.
Aww.
Like, they only make that noise when they drop an egg. They're just trying to tell you that they did their job.
Lay an egg without making a noise.
I mean, yeah, you try to push something out and see what happens. Yeah, exactly. And she's just telling you to come get the egg before the egg eater eats it. I had to get rid of that chicken. It was eating the eggs.
Oof.
Like, listen, I have you, so you give me eggs. I don't want you in here eating everybody's eggs, so I don't have eggs to eat. My husband was like, how are we going to figure out which one's doing it? I said, we're going to put the deer camera in there and see which one's doing it. Which is what we done. Either one of you grew up around animals before?
I grew up around cornfields.
Just dogs and cats.
Yeah, that's the same with me, dogs and cats.
We raised rabbits and chickens.
We had a bunny when I was little, and it died on Mother's Day.
Aww. We have our rabbits are our pets. So we actually sell poop. So
yeah,
that's what they're there for, eating poop.
Yeah, I think it was like one of my brother's like first girlfriends, I think, or someone my mom worked with, or like a combination of someone my mom worked with and one of my brother's like first girlfriends or whatever. Like they had bunnies, and they were like giving them away, and so I ended up with a bunny, and we had a hutch in the back, and so I used to go out like every day and like feed her and take care of her and stuff like that. And I went out one Mother's Day and she was gone.
Some don't have long lives, but they can live. People don't realize how long a bunny can live. They can like 8-10 years.
I was like 10 or 11. So I was little when we got her. I think I was like 9 when we got her, and then she was 11 when I died, I think. So we didn't have her.
She was close. She had a good life as she lasted her entire 11 years. So we just had something come through the flock that they were sick, and so we have one in what I call the chicken hospital.
Oh.
If they get sick, we separate them quick, or it just goes through the whole flock. But I have no idea what it was. We don't have a vet that sees chickens in my area, so I don't know. I don't know what it was. We got them through it by electrolytes and human amoxicillin, if you can believe that.
I believe it.
Gave her some potassium and some amoxicillin.
I can't take amoxicillin.
And I can't take amoxicillin either.
It messes up what they like. They never want to prescribe penicillin either because I'm allergic to amoxicillin.
None of the illins. You don't want any. You don't want K-Flex. You don't want any of that. No, because it's all illin. They're all connected, the same family. I can't take any of those either.
Yeah, they always give me a Z-Pack instead.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it's called.
Yeah. Weeds.
I'm like, oh, you can't take this. Well, you're fun. And I'm like, okay. I try.
And my husband's like, they're just chickens. I'm like, they're my friends. We have to make them. We have to make them better. He's like, I don't know what to do for them. And I said, well, call the guy and ask him what to do. He's the guy who he hatches and sells baby chicks. Like, call him and ask him what we're supposed to do because I don't know what it is. I mean, they're like not sick, and then all of a sudden they're so sick they can't stand up. There's no in between. So I'm like, I don't know what it is. Anyway, it was a breathing thing. They like a lung infection kind of thing. What they ended up having. But we had 7. We only have 4 left. So I only got 4 of them through it. Poor chicken. Like, well, the 4 we got left are definitely hardy stock. They made it through it, so I guess that's the best of the best. We really only needed 4, but not that I wanted anything to happen to my chickens. There's a thing called chicken math. I don't know if you've ever heard that or not.
Yeah.
You end up with 1 or 2. You say, I'm just going to get 1 or 2, and then you end up with 30,000 of them. We built a coop for 2 or 3 chickens, and I ended up with 8 chickens, so we was fixing to have to build more coopage for the winter time. They're therapy. They're cheaper than going to a therapist for sure.
Yeah, I believe that. That's why I have this one, but sometimes he causes me more anxiety than it's worth.
Oh yeah, my son's girlfriend. I call her dog that she needed a human, emotional support human is what the dog needed. She got the dog for an emotional support dog, and I was like, she picked you because she needed an emotional support human. I don't know how much support this thing's going to give you. I mean, it's a spastic. The dog is so spastic. You can see her mind turning 30,000 miles a minute. First time the first night they spent at my house, of course they're living with us now, but she went to turn the dogs out by themselves. And she was standing at the door waiting on one of them to come back to the door to bark. And I'm like, are you really going to just leave them out there by themselves? She's like, that's what we did at my house. I was like, yeah, but you were in the city. Like, there's deer and other animals out there that they might chase and run off into the woods, and you're not going to find them because, like, we butt up against the Tennessee National Wildlife Refuge property. When she starts running the deer, she's gone. Anyway, about that time we heard them go. I was like, oh man, there they go. Have fun with that. I don't know what she was chasing. I said, well, I do. I just told you there's like all kinds of other animals out there. Could have been a deer. Could have been a rabbit. Who knows?
You gonna get up? Cool.
She's part hound, so she smelled something and just took off.
Yeah. I can't pick you up, dude.
I can't pick you up.
Well, he weighs 115 pounds. So.
Please don't crush me. Yeah, don't crush me. You are not a lap animal, right?
All right. Fine. Goodbye then.
It's just like, fine, I'm leaving. If you can't hold me, I'm out of here.
He thinks he's a lap dog. He climbs up in the recliner with me all the time. So.
Well, I mean, when you first got him, he was a lap dog, so he don't understand now why he can't get in your lap. I make one of my customers feel really bad because when they first got the dog that they've got, they took it everywhere with them. They took it everywhere, and now they don't take it anywhere. And then they wonder why he's always antsy because you don't ever take the poor thing anywhere anymore. It's not fair. they had a trainer come out to their house to help them train the dog, and I had already told them a couple of things that I thought they were doing wrong, and I was there cleaning, and the trainer was there, and she was telling him the correct way to do something, and he looked over at me, and I was like, I tried to tell you. See, I could have saved you whatever you're paying her. I could have saved you all that money. They were telling the dog to do something, but they were like making it a question instead of a statement. They're like, it'll be like, sit. No, sit. Don't give them the option. You're like asking them to sit. You need to tell them to sit. Basket dog.
Yeah, I tried to get him trained, but everyone tells me he's too aggressive. So.
Mm-hmm.
No, because he don't understand the situation too, though. But and people say the dog's aggressive, but when they think the dog's aggressive, they're putting out that energy, and so the dog does become aggressive just because of your energy too. So some of that's not just on the dog. And I've been attacked by a dog before, so I feel like some of that wasn't on the dog.
Well, that, and when you tell him he doesn't like other dogs, they're like, oh, well, we have other dogs around. And I'm like, sorry, he got attacked in his own yard. He doesn't like dogs.
Right. He feels like all of them are a threat now because he was attacked.
Yep.
I get him. It took me a minute to go back around dogs again after I got attacked. And the dog that attacked me, I had been around many years. So.
No. It's not even time. You're asked to go out 2 hours early.
Well, the days are getting longer or shorter. I mean, it confuses everybody. Okay, I hear myself cutting out, but I don't know where I laid my phone.
No, I guarantee he saw someone out there, so he just wants to go out to bark at him.
To let him know it's his yard. Get out of my yard.
Yeah. They could be 3 yards down, and he'll still bark at him.
He's just trying to remind them that this is his yard. Don't come in his yard. Well, did you ever get the KindMaster to download for you, or no? Still had problems with it?
It still keeps telling me that my account's not associated with Google Play. And I'm literally logged into my Google Play account. So I'm like, how am I not associated with Google Play? I don't know.
Well, I don't have a computer. I just have it on my cell phone. But I do know that it will do for a computer or a laptop. It's not just a cell phone thing. So have you updated your Google in a minute? You might have to go in and update and can't think of the word. I
know the computer's up to date. I never thought about looking at the apps on it.
You might just have to, just a couple of questions on your Google Play side. I know when I go in, of course, I have 2 profiles. I have to go in and make sure it's on the right profile. I don't guess that has anything to do with the computer side of things, so that's just my cell phone thing. Well, like, I'm telling you, if I can use it, you can use it.
You talking about the software for videos or something?
Yeah.
The editing software, Cinemaster, however you say it. It's spelled with a K, so I call it KindMaster. A lot of people are like, it's supposed to be Cinemaster. I mean, it takes a minute to get used to it, but I mean, it is. If I can do it, believe me, you can do it. So
I'm
get it to work.
One in the comments of that video, it's supposed to not leave a watermark.
On what, KindMaster?
No, it's called Cool something.
Oh, a different one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no. You have to pay a bigger fee in order for the KineMaster not to come up.
The
But
one
you
that
can get it to not show it. You just have to pay more money, and I'm too cheap for that. I'm like, just
the
put it on there. I don't care.
one that I said was supposed to be free.
Right. I tried several of the free ones, but it was just over my head. I couldn't figure it out. And there's one guy that I learned how to do all the things I know how to do so far. That he would put out videos, and then along the way I asked him several questions, and then he would, instead of answering me on Messenger or whatever, he would just make another video explaining how to do whatever it was that I asked. Like, okay, that works too.
I left a comment because I put the name of the stuff in like the thing.
You
I mean, I
left
know a lot
it.
of people that use Canva, but you were saying it was hard to use the Canva for even the thumbnail, so you might not
Oh,
want to do
well,
Canva
I
for
ended
the
up
editing.
I ended up using one of their free banners,
Canva.
but I
Oh,
went on there to try to make a thumbnail and I couldn't figure out how to get letters or anything on there. And I'm like, what the hell? So,
it's on the scroll bar at the bottom, but you got to make sure you're on a YouTube thumbnail, the side of things. You know, at the top where you're pressing in, instead of YouTube banner, you would put in YouTube thumbnail. But when it's at the bottom, you have to like scroll across. I think there's the option that says more, and then it shows you the letters and stuff. But it doesn't let you bend them and stuff like other programs do, if that makes any sense. You know how you can make the pretty letters on the free Canva. To me, it was just standard straight across letters. You couldn't do anything special with it.
Crystal, I don't think you submitted your comment because it's not on my thing.
I put it there. I can see it. Let me see if I can. Let me go back to it and I'll tell you what it said.
Well, because it's not in my notifications, so.
Because you don't like me.
Oh my God.
Because you blocked her. You blocked her from it, so she can't comment. No,
I can promise she's not blocked.
I'm just kidding. Just messing with you.
Let's see. YouTube.
The other thing of what I like about the KineMaster, Cinemaster, however you say it, is that the music you're using off of that is guaranteed not to strike you off of YouTube. I mean, not that I'm ever going to be monetized, but I did like it because the music wasn't held against you as a strike or a. Of course, they're not as hard on that anymore. They tell you if it's ever monetized, they'll give it to that person, but it's not. They used to like take your channel down if you got so many strikes on music usage.
Oh,
you know, they don't do that anymore.
YouTube's done making me mad because someone commented that they were trying to watch one of my videos, but there's just too many ads. Like there was no space between ads, and I'm sitting there like, what do you mean ads? I'm not monetized. There shouldn't be any ads.
Well, no, there are. If you have more than 100 views, they will put their ads on there.
Yeah, but I'm not getting paid for it. They are.
No. I know, but if you've had 100 views on that video, YouTube will put ads on it to get revenue. That's in the bylaws, updated not last year, but the year before last. Yeah,
that's what Reddit said, and I'm just like, what the heck? So they're making money, but I'm not.
Yeah, because you don't have enough. I mean, to me, if I have enough pull for you to have that many views on one video, then I should have enough pull for me to be monetized on the rest of my freaking video.
That must be why, like, the Social Blade says you've got like $11 or something on there.
Maybe. Well, like I was saying in a previous video, YouTube used to not do that. You could like literally sign up and monetize your channel day one.
Right.
You didn't have to have subscribers, and now they make it almost impossible to even monetize your channel.
Well, they only want, and again, when they set up the whole thing, I don't think they ever imagined that everybody in the world would try to be putting videos up on YouTube, like it's more popular now than it was when they first set it all up. But I don't know if you guys read those things that the creator content that YouTube will email you and explain to you what's going on.
Every now and then I'll read it.
I go back to the homepage just to click through and see what because they'll give you in the line item, it'll give you the important, what they're trying to give to you. So I don't read them all because they send out a lot of them. But if I ever have a question, I can always go back through there and say, oh, well, here it is. They did tell me this is what was going on. But I was like you on one of my videos. I'm like, why is there a video? Why is there commercials on my video, ads on my video?
Well, I never had anyone complain to me about it. So when that girl was like, yeah, I can't even watch the video because it just keeps popping up an ad. I'll watch an ad and then I'll get like another 2 minutes into the video and it'll throw up another ad. And I'm like,
well, that ad was back last season or whatever, where they would call it ad apocalypse or whatever, where they were putting that one ad that's like 12 minutes long on there. Oh my God. Like, I don't mind watching an ad here or there, but I don't want to be watching nothing that's 12 minutes long.
Yeah.
And I walk away from my phone a lot, so I'm like, when is this ad ever going to end?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, during that time, one of the people I watch, like when their video first started, the very first ad was an hour long, and I'm like, because I just wonder, do you have to watch the whole entire thing for them to get the money, or do you have to watch a certain amount of it, or I don't know.
30 seconds.
Okay.
I mean, of course, the longer you watch it, the more money they're going to get, but they will get ad revenue if you stay in for 30 seconds.
Okay.
I just don't know how much it is.
I usually watch at least the minute or less ads. Anything longer than that, I'm like, yeah, nah.
Skip. Yeah, I'm bad about too, and I feel bad about it, but I don't have a lot of, like, I want to support the people that I want to support, but I can't, like, if there's 12 of you today that drop a video that's 42 minutes long, obviously I can't watch all 42 minutes of all 12 of you, so I'll put it on high speed, like 1.25 speed or something like that. And then I always worry about it later on going, well, I should have watched it just at regular speed because now they're not going to get all the watch hours. And I think about it too much.
Yeah, I need to get more views on mine because mine have like no views.
It's hard to get out there unless you like know people that know people.
I know.
Well, I mean, I got, like, on my other channel, I got plenty of family members, but I don't have any of the views. Obviously, back when I started, everybody was starting to get, and it was like, those lives were still around where you could pop in on a live, and then you get 10 new subscribers, and then you go to their 10 subscribers pages. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not getting any like feedback either, so I don't know like if I need to change what I'm doing or if I'm doing okay. Like I don't know.
I mean, the way I think about it is that you just have to do what's important to you, and I mean, I just had to drop out of that kind of a mindset about it because it was becoming work, and I just wanted it to be a hobby to have fun at it,
Right now I'm doing like what I can, and so it's like I'm hoping like if it'll take off, then I can branch out and get better and like get better tools. But now I'm doing like what I can afford to do. Yeah. So
I am good at recording a lot of stuff, but I'm not good about having the time to go in and edit it and put it up. Like, believe me, you don't want to see the whole full. You want me to edit some of that stuff out. I don't have time, and I feel bad that
I
don't have the time.
Like driving videos and stuff like that, but I would need to get a different kind of thing
Camera
from
setup. Like to show the view of your drive, or you talking in the car to the camera.
I would need a different kind of mount for my car because the dash of my car is weird. So in order to put the the phone, in order for it to film, it would need to be like in a different spot than where it's at. And so I need to get a different mount, and the kind I need like isn't cheap. Because
Right. Just read the reviews, because a lot of those shake so bad you can't even use the footage, because I went through about 10 of them myself.
and it's like my car like takes a specific kind of mount as it is, and so to get one to film is like even more expensive.
Well, I know how to do it cheaply if you're going to be recording yourself while in the car, but I don't know how to cheaply find you something to show us your drive, which I'm sure that's what you're talking about. But
yeah,
I use ponytail holders on my rearview mirror for my in-car camera. If you've ever seen any of my videos, it doesn't shake or anything. Just ponytail holders. But I'm wondering if I couldn't hook something up to the ponytail holders to make them longer than that, and then turn the camera around towards the driving part. I'll have to work on that, and if I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Okay.
Because it really does hold the ponytail holders, hold it up there where it's not shaking. I have bought like 10 of those drop downs that you hook onto the rearview mirror to use, and they're so shaky you can't even edit it out. KineMaster has a way to stabilize it some, but
now
not enough.
It's starting to cool off around here, so I could probably get the mount to actually stick and not melt back off.
Right.
I've also
got a gimbal that I use, but I need to learn a lot more about it.
I know, we get so hot around here, like the mount will just melt right off the windshield and stuff. So it's like I can't do anything but have the mount like on the vent, because the phone will get too hot, or the phone will get too hot, and then the mount will melt right off the windshield.
Or if you're like me, you're in the middle of recording something and your phone shuts off because you don't have enough memory. Because, like I said, I only work on my cell phone. I don't have a computer. So I'll have too much on there, then I'll have to stop what I'm doing and transfer this here and transfer that there. My husband will be like, "Why are you sending me this? Just keep it for a minute and send it back to me when I tell you to." I don't want to lose it. Just cooperate. He uses his phone none, where I use my phone all the time, as far as memory is concerned. He doesn't even know how to get to my channel. That's how he doesn't use his phone. He wouldn't know how to find me on YouTube if he wanted to.
Couldn't find you with a map.
Well, he probably don't even know the name of it. I don't know if I've changed the name so many times. Whatever he knew when I started it, it's probably not that name no more. Oh, gosh. My husband is of the kind and age where he just watches what's suggested to him off the YouTube. He just watches the suggested videos. He doesn't like anything. He doesn't follow nobody. He'll just watch it or skip it. That's how he does YouTube.
You'll probably be suggested to him one day, like, "Oh, this lady looks just like you."
Yeah, my wife. I think she was on here somewhere. My 10-year-old nephew was trying to talk to him about a video that we had done together one time, and he was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Your wife's YouTube channel?" And he's like, "Oh, I've never seen any of those." My little nephew's like, "He doesn't even watch your videos?" And I said, "No, he don't. He watches none of my videos." He said, "Well, Aunt Michelle, I watch them, or at least let them just play in the background. Come on, Uncle Mike." See, the 10-year-old gets it. There'll be one coming up soon with me and him, and music. He loves music, and he's got a really eclectic taste of music as a 10-year-old. Like, how did you find that person? And who showed you that person? Like, one day he was listening to Prince when I walked in, so I walked up behind him and started singing with him, and he's like, how do you know Prince? I grew up with Prince.
Like, you're discovering someone from my era, okay?
Yeah, like, I grew up on Prince. I thought my childhood. I was like, give it to me. What song you want to sing? And he'd be like, la 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 la. And I'd start singing. And he was like, how do you know that? Because I told you, dude. I grew up on it. He likes to listen to Tiny Tim. You know what I'm talking about? Tiny Tim?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to look and
The,
see.
was it a banjo? Not a banjo. Not a banjo. What's the little bitty instrument?
Ukulele.
Ukulele. Yeah, he's big on. He got real big using the ukulele. Back in like, I don't know, late 60s, early 70s. Again, I'm dating myself.
Oh, Tiny Tim. Okay, I know who
Tiny Tim. Yeah, I mean, could you imagine a 10-year-old listening to Tiny Tim? It's just funny. I just couldn't imagine. But anyway, he started listening to that too. And then I showed him some people to go, if he never heard of it, go listen to. We're gonna do that video sometime soon, hopefully.
I think that's that song or whatever that he did, that Tiptoe or whatever. Like Tiptoe Through the Forest or something.
Oh yeah. Yep. With that high pitch
Yes.
voice. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, ukuleles aren't very popular on YouTube right now.
No, ukuleles aren't popular. Have never ever been really popular like that. But of course, Tiny Tim. I mean, I don't think Tiny Tim really got ever popular for himself versus him being so eclectic.
I think more known after he passed away. Actually, I think he was one of those posthumous people.
Oh yeah. He was in the wrong era.
Mm-hmm. Like his song became more popular after he passed away, and it was just kind of sad for him.
Right. That's true. I'm a music. I like all kinds of music. I put on whatever you want.
I do too.
I can find something I like about it. My dad sends me, I mean, most of the text messages me and my dad send to each other anymore is, have you heard this guy? Here's this link. Go listen to that song.
Yeah, I'll get pulled in by like the beat or something like that, and I don't even listen to the rest of it or like the lyrics or whatever. And so it's like I'll get drawn to something.
What really gets to me nowadays is the songs that people come up with nowadays and the videos that they make to go with the songs. Like, are you listening to your own song? Because this video makes no sense to the song you're singing.
I haven't seen a music video in I don't know how long.
I mean, I guess that's why they just don't care enough to, like, I don't know. In my era, I'm gonna go there. In my era, you made the song and then you made the video to portray the song in the best light possible. And anymore, it don't make sense. The song does not match. Like one song a country song we listened to not long ago, he was talking about a certain kind of tractor, and the tractor in the video was not the tractor he was talking about. It's like you got a Caterpillar in the video, but you're talking about a John Deere tractor, so you should have a John Deere freaking tractor in the video. How hard is that? Gosh, so now I gotta look it up. What the song? Do y'all listen to country?
Yeah.
Either one of you even listen to country?
I do.
A little bit, yeah. That's kind of sad they couldn't even get a John Deere. Those are popular.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't. Surely, whoever choreographed the video, it's like they're not listening to the song. It's Tyler somebody. I can't even think of the name of the song. He's talking about a girl and blah blah blah, but the video is him and his friend fishing in a boat fishing, and I'm like, where's the girl? You don't even have a girl in the video. It made me really upset. Anyway, the reason why I even looked it up because me and my husband were having a discussion about not the boy, what's America's Got Talent. Dylan, somebody, came back. He won last year. He was a country singer, and he came back to sing one of his new songs. And my husband said that, well, he's the one who sings such and such song. And I'm like, no, that's Tyler somebody. I'm like, that's not the same dude.
Yeah, because you can remember when a video like ruined something. Because I watched videos from the Professor of Rock channel, and I can't remember like which group he was talking about, but he did a video from a song or whatever, and it was about how the video to that song like completely ruined that group's like career, because they did a video, and this was like probably back in like the 80s, I think, but they did a music video, and their career like completely tanked from it, because like they had like good videos to their music and stuff like that, and then they did a video to a song, and it was just like boom, everyone hated them after that because the video didn't match the song. But I can't remember who, because I watched like so many of his videos, I can't remember which group it was, but it was just like it tanked their band or whatever, because people didn't like the video, because the video was just stupid. And so it just put people off. And I think the band didn't even want to release it. And like when the band like saw the video, they got mad because they didn't have like any final say or whatever. And when they finally saw like what the video looked like after it had been released, they were like, "Are you serious?" And then like people started reacting to it, and it was just too late because it was out there. But I need to go back and look and see which video that was. Give me a minute. Because now I'm intrigued by my own like interruption.
And my husband do. He's like, no, that's such and such. I'm like, no, that's such and such. So then we got to prove it to each other. I got to pull it up and let him listen to it. Is this the song you're talking about? That's not him. Not him. But like, I'm such a music person too that if I hear somebody on one of those shows like really butcher a song, tomorrow I have to listen to the original song by the original group and get that version that they sung out of my head, because it was a bad version of the song.
Mm.
You totally just failed miserably on that rendition of that song.
Where's the one that
I think that's why I stopped watching American Idol.
Well, what I don't like anymore is they're all about the story of the person instead of their actual talent, and that makes me mad.
Yeah.
Like, base it on the talent they brought forth, not their story, how they got here, their mama's dying. I'm sorry about their circumstance, but let's not push them through just because of their circumstance. That's not fair.
Yeah, especially
To
when
make
you're
them think they actually got talent.
And it's like they
counsel. Go ahead.
They like everyone has to have some sub story in order for them to go forward or whatever, and it's stupid.
Yeah, like just space them off of their talent. Like on America's Got Talent, that also makes me mad. I mean, I don't have anything about anybody from any other continent, but you have your own versions of these shows in your own. Don't come over here to America.
Yeah.
Yugoslavia or what the heck ever. Like
yeah, and then they win.
Yeah, like you could have won in your own country. Don't come here and steal it from us.
Oh, yeah, I hate when you see like America's Got Talent. Like, where are you from? Oh, okay.
Look, 30% of them are Americans. The rest of them are from another country. They're not even from America. But I seen a councilman's video. Of course, it's fixing to be season here for all the people that have, voted in. So that all these ads are popping up. But this councilman has been pushing for some, I can't even remember what he's trying to uphold or what he's running for. But I seen a couple of his things and didn't listen to him. And then the third one I seen of him was him and his disabled son. And I was like,
Sorry.
that is sad. You know, you don't think you're going to win, so now you got to bring your disabled son on film.
It was Billy
terrible.
Squire. I found
Billy
it.
Squire.
Yeah. It was I guess it was related to the stroke.
The stroke.
Yeah, the video to the stroke. Sorry about the. I couldn't stop the videos from playing when I would click on them.
Well, I can hear it. So if you played it, I didn't hear it.
Oh, I wasn't sharing. Okay. Because I was.
I didn't hear it.
He was playing, and I'm like, oh no, you can hear. I'm sorry. But yeah, it was Billy Squire, the stroke, I guess, is the music video that was like that ruined his career.
There's just all kinds of things out there like that. I remember them now.
And he was so angry because I guess like he worked on this video and then they ruined it. And so when the video came out, it basically like tanked his career and he wasn't able to recover from it.
Right.
But it just shows like what can happen, you know? Like,
right.
Everything's
You ever think about how Milli Vanilli must be so upset now that people are getting paid to lip sync now, and they have all kinds of careers over lip syncing, and they got canceled because they were lip syncing. Can you imagine the conversations?
Yeah.
Oh, I think about that a lot. It wasn't they were lip syncing; it was they were trying to act like they were actually singing. If they'd have just told us what was going on, it might have went over a whole lot better.
Yeah.
But I just can imagine that conversation today. Like, look, these people are getting monetized and paid for lip singing, and we got canceled for it.
Like, dude, if you just would have owned it, you would have been fine.
Yeah.
Trying to. Oh, I think that's one of the songs they put out too, man. I was a fan.
They were ahead of their time, and I just didn't know it.
They didn't know it. It's like my grandpa told me one day. He said, "Well, we have to worry about the government, Michelle. Is when they start bottling water and selling it to us, we're gonna have to worry." Every time I buy a bottle of water, I think about him saying that. They start selling us the water bottled up. That's when we're gonna have to worry about it. Oh, he must be tanning in his grave. They retired him at 89 years old because he fell and broke ribs. 89. Oh. Do you know any 89-year-old today that still is a brick mason at 89?
No.
They just don't build them like that no more. From the generation who had to work to eat. If you didn't work, you didn't eat.
Yeah.
Well, I guess on the plus side, it's not the government that's bottling the water. It's
right. No, that's true, but
still, it is kind of sad, you know, that we got a bottle.
I guess he was saying when the government allows somebody to bottle and sell water, you know.
Ah, okay.
That's what I think is what he meant by that. He was a fearer of the government, whatever you call that. He was one of them.
When they're bottling the water, that's when you know the world's coming to it.
He used to say, if they ever start doing something that makes sense, you better look into that. You better look into that. Oh, gosh.
That'd probably be the same thing as if we ever, like, hired a politician that told the truth, you know?
Oh, gosh, right?
That'd be a scary time.
Oh, well, let's not get on that subject again. What else can we talk about? We got into that one live. We already got into that.
Yeah, we really veered off of our depression and anxiety.
Well, we discussed what we knew to have discussed. Well, the tools we're using, the medication, we're getting seen by a physician. I should probably go be seen by a physician again now that I'm old enough to voice more of my opinion and what's going on. It's kind of like those doctors kind of run all over me and do what they, just did whatever they said to do. I didn't try to be my own advocate or anything like that, like I am now.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine it would be a different circumstance.
Well, now things are
now.
different. Now everyone pushes for mental health. They didn't used to do that. It used
Right.
to be that you had to hide from people.
Right.
It used to be like you were, it was taboo to talk about, and now everyone's like, your mental health is so important. Your mental health is,
When they do, a lot of people do say that, and I have a fear that that's one of those things that is, well, mental health matters. Well, do you really feel like that, or are you just saying it because that's the thing that you should say nowadays?
Yeah, it's like now they tell you to like take mental health days and to do this and to do that. And
I'm telling an employer you've got to not be in today because of a mental health crisis and see what happens. I mean, right? They don't care. They just don't care. But I've worked for myself for so long now. I just don't think I could go back to working for the man no more.
like,
I
tell
can show up or I can stay at home.
Like tell the bill collector, I need a mental health day.
Yeah, I don't have the money because I've had a mental health month. Can you wait till next month to get my money? Mental health matters.
Mental health matters.
Yeah. I turned the air on. I didn't realize she's got her windows open. Oops. I'm just running the air. I'm like, why is it so hot in here? Got the windows open.
You're working. You're making yourself feel hot.
This is true. I'm not just sitting still, that's for sure. Try not to be heavy in y'all's ears. I had this lady one time, this particular household, she said, do you wash my floor every time you come? Not anymore, I don't. If you can't tell, I'm not going to. If you can't tell that I do, then no, I don't. Because I won't from here forward. That made me so mad. What do you mean? Do I wash the floors every time? I mean, what would be the point of me going and sweeping out your garage entry where y'all come in and out from the house if I'm just not going to wash the floor? Why would I sweep the garage out? People are funny. She was like, I've had a couple of housekeepers and I've never had one sweep the garage out before. Like, well, I'm just trying to get the dirt that you're trucking into my house out of the way so you're not tracking it in the house. It makes sense to me. In my brain.
Yeah, makes you wonder why it didn't make sense to her.
Hello? That's where you come in and out of this house most of the time, right? Am I wrong? I wash the floor every time. Girl, I'm telling you what, I could spit nails when I got home. I told my husband that. He's like, and why is that making you so mad? Because she can't even tell if I've washed the floor or not. That's pretty sad. For some of these households, I could just probably walk in and spray some smelly good stuff and they wouldn't know the difference. Not that I would ever do them that way, but they wouldn't know the difference. I've got to go to Walmart again tonight. I hate going to Walmart.
Me too.
My existence.
I refuse to go to Walmart.
Yeah. I just went. But It's one of those weeks where I got to go multiple times to make it all work out right.
I think the last time I went to Walmart was because like the item I wanted or needed was like at Walmart and at Walmart only, and I was like,
Right.
yeah.
We have Walmart, Kroger, or a really old IGA that's really expensive. That's all we have. Period.
You know, we've got Walmart, Target,
Walmart it is.
and like that. We got Trader Joe's.
We don't have any of that. I wish we did. It's a college town too. You would think there would be, an Aldi or a Trader Joe or something for the school, the college, but there's not. I'm gonna take full credit for bringing Starbucks here. That's all I got to say. Full credit.
We got Starbucks everywhere.
Well, we didn't have Starbucks here. We had Dunkin' Donuts, and it's a college town. Like, come on, Starbucks. I mean, you could make a lot of money here if you would just get with it. So I emailed and I emailed and I emailed and I talked to people and I emailed some more.
Starbucks and a Dunkin' Donuts like right next to each other. They're literally right across from each other.
That's what they did. They went and bought up two pieces of property across the street from the Dunkin' Donuts that's here, and they sold or they rented America Dental is on one side and the Starbucks is the other side.
Yeah, it's funny. Like saw them breaking ground for Dunkin' Donuts. And I'm like, there's a Starbucks right across the street. Like, are you serious?
Are you? Or that's a good question. Are you Starbucks? Are you Starbies or are you DD?
I usually Starbies.
Starbies.
Yeah, I prefer Starbucks on most things. Unless it's pumpkin spice, and then I prefer Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
Some good stuff. I like their little munchkins.
Oh, the food-wise, Dunkin' Donuts for sure, but drink-wise, Starbucks.
I'm one of those weird people that likes their coffee to taste like coffee, so that's why I like to go to Starbucks.
Yeah.
They look at me weird every time I give them my order too.
Well, you order a black coffee.
Just a cold brew, and I add my own stuff to it. They're like, you don't want no sweetener, no milk, no nothing? Nope, I want nothing but the cold brew. In fact, I started making my own, so I don't even go there hardly anymore. I didn't realize how easy it was to make your own at home.
Their pumpkin chai, I need to get another one of those. That was really good from Starbucks. That pumpkin iced chai latte or whatever. That was good.
Now, when I'm not on my diet, I like to go get that Cocoa Moco from Dunkin' Donuts.
It could have been like a long time since I'd had Starbucks. I don't know.
That's the only reason I use Fetch Rewards is to get Starbucks money. Do either one of you use any of those apps to save money?
I need to put more on my app. I haven't put more on my app in a while. I know right now every Thursday is buy one, get one, and I haven't utilized that yet. I need to.
At where?
Starbucks.
Ooh, is that everywhere or just store by store?
I think it's all of the Starbucks. I think it's buy one, get one. And
on Thursdays.
On Thursdays. And I would be getting like buy one, get one just for myself.
I'm going to have to look into that. 2 Trentos for $4 could be cool.
Yeah. I'd be like, yep, that'll work for me. Thank you.
Oh, listen, I'm going to have to look into that. Listen, y'all are not spreading the word correctly. Of course, most of the people at the Starbucks here, I've had to counsel them in making a drink because they didn't know how to make this particular drink I had ordered. I'm just like, come on. You don't have one of those little sheets back there? If you don't like coffee, you shouldn't start working at a Starbucks or a Dunkin' Donuts. You should take another job.
Exactly. I love to like just drive up, and once you get close enough to the window that you can smell it, like, oh.
Oh, that reminds me. I used to smoke, and I've quit smoking, but I'll walk downwind every once in a while just to be like, okay, secondhand smoke from whoever's smoking.
Yeah, I had a manager at Burger King. Like, she would purposely start coffee like right before my shift because she knew I loved the smell of coffee. Like, I'd be walking in the door and she'd be like, I'm just starting one for you. And I'm like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. I can remember going to McDonald's back in the day before work and before Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts even came here. And they'd be like, it's going to be a minute. I got to start a new pot. Hey, I'll wait for new coffee. No problem. I sure will. I'll wait right here. For a fresh pot? Yeah, sure.
Yep, that addiction to coffee's gotta be genetic.
Listen, my son sent me a picture one time, a picture message. And all it was a big, like, basket full, like a whole cart full, I think it was a Dollar General, full of coffee drinks that was on clearance. And I sent him a text message back that said, if you didn't clear the entire shelf, you're not my son. So he sent me another picture message of his car, and he went to every Dollar General close to him to buy these clearance coffee drinks. And he said, I am your son. I cleared out all 50 miles these Starbucks drinks. I mean, these coffee drinks. So, yes, I am your child.
Mm-hmm.
He said, it's your fault. Well, no, it's your grandfather's fault because I started drinking coffee with my dad. So, blame him. But his girlfriend at the time didn't drink coffee, had never drank coffee, so she had no idea the significance of why he. Plus, I'm also a clearance shopper. Like, I'm not getting anything. If I don't go look at clearance rack first to find whatever it is that I'm needing, okay, if it's not on clearance, then I might pay full price for it, but certainly won't pay for it unless I go look, make sure it's not on clearance somewhere. And that drove her insane, too, about him. Where every time she wanted to go shopping, he'd be like, let's go check the clearance first. She's like, how about we don't? We just pay full price. And he's like, never. Why would you do that? Why would you pay full price?
Will you hush?
Was he whining to you?
Yeah.
You say it's time to play? He don't want you to be working on the computer. He wants you to come play with him. My grandson's getting himself in trouble at school, at his daycare. He's 18 months old.
Aww.
He's causing havoc. His oldest sister, she's just so quiet and well behaved, but his middle sister, I'm afraid he's picking up some of her tendencies. She is what some of the old folks used to say, spirited. She's a spirited young lady. She has deep feelings of everything, and she shows you what those feelings are on a minute basis. So we're going to try some new techniques when they come to my house the next time for discipline, because they run us around, girls. They just keep us both going in separate directions. We have to get this nipped in the bud so that we don't feel like this every time they leave. Like, we feel like they won. It was 2 against 3 and they won. But my husband started him, like, our house, each room leads into the other room. So when the baby figured out that he could run through every room, and then come back to you and then keep running through the rooms, right? Well, in a way to kind of figure out where he was, where we didn't actually have to get up and go find out where he was, my husband would like yell out at him, kind of like a Marco Polo kind of situation. Well, it was cute at my house, but now he's doing it at school and he's getting all the other kids involved in the screaming. Because like he screams at the top of his lungs when it's his turn to say Marco. He screams really loud. But he's getting all of the kids to do the same thing. And the teacher told my son, she said, we have to have a little conference about this and talk about it. And so my son didn't know he didn't know that we did that at my house. Because most of the times when I have him, they're not both there together. So he would get the whole class to yell, and then they would look at the teacher. So they're waiting on the teacher to yell, like my husband does to him. Like he yells, my husband yells, he yells, kind of back and forth. So I told my son, I said, uh-oh, that's a Pop thing. Pop taught him how to do that. He's like, well, we need to unteach him because he's getting in trouble at school. So when we show up tomorrow, my son's like, me and Pop have to talk tomorrow. Uh-oh. Pop's in trouble.
Teaching naughty things.
Teaching naughty things. It's fun when we're out here in the country, but it's not fun when he's at school. And he's getting all his other little comrades. And he always, of course, they do it like probably before nighttime, instead of laying down like they're supposed to. So, poor kid.
But, to him, it's a game, and so it's like, yeah,
we're playing. He's playing. He didn't realize he's causing havoc in the classroom.
No,
but he's at the age where he needs to start. He needs to start having some ground rules. You can't just run. You just can't come around and just run things like you've been doing. So we just let him do whatever at my house. He's just like. He's our first grandbaby. He'd do whatever he wants to. Whatever you want. I can't wait to go walk around his little neighborhood tomorrow and show him all the stuff in the apartment complex. Hopefully they'll have a swing or something we can get outside and do.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay.
Someone wants to. She was getting the smolder.
Almost flat. Somebody there.
That's kind of why I like having a kitty. She takes herself.
I'm allergic to kitties. That's one thing I could never have.
Aww.
I remember my first cat ever, and then my last cat ever. Her name was Snowball.
Aww.
She came to me as a birthday present. The next morning, she was gone. I woke up and couldn't see or smell or taste, or my whole face was swollen shut. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember getting up and going into my parents' bedroom. What's wrong with me? I can't see. My mom was like, oh my God. I'm like, don't say that. What's wrong? What do you mean, oh my God? That's not the proper response. Ooh. She woke up my daddy real quick. Emergency room. Emergency room. That's what needs to happen. And then when I got back, the kitty was gone.
Oh.
That's not fair. What happened? This is my birthday present.
Oh no. Well, we had to take her back.
Well, she had to go back to her home because you're allergic to her. No, I'm not. As I'm, can't see still. No, I'm not. Yes, you are.
Yeah, that's a fun way to find out you're allergic to cats.
Yeah, it was a terrible way.
active
Well,
way.
just turned 4, I think. That's like my very first memory that I can remember. What a core memory for me to have. Being scared to death, like dying or something, you know. I can't see. I can't smell. I can't.
Wake up thinking you're dying, like, the world is going away.
What happened?
Where did everybody go?
And it only got worse from there, though. I started having migraines in school, and the migraine would come on so hard that I would pass out from the pain before I could even tell anybody what was happening. And some of those old school teachers telling me that I was doing it on purpose to get out of taking a test.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I'm passing out on purpose. Yeah, okay, I'm playing with you. Passed out. You make yourself pass out, woman. What?
All right. I'm back.
There she is.
Oh. Yeah. Tell us how you really feel.
I had to rush him because the little yapper dog started scratching on the screen across the way.
Oh.
That's on the shows like he's giving her that smolder. Giving her the look.
When I first started cleaning houses, I had a little inside dog, and he would come over and smell me at the end of the day. And if I had been around another animal, he'd go to the corner and not look at me. He'd just turn his back at me. You were with another dog today. How dare you?
Cheating on me.
You know me. We crate trained him too. So if he'd ever done anything wrong, when he got a little older, he just put himself in the cage, and then you'd have to go find out what he did. Well, what did you do? Daggone, what'd you do? He'd tell on himself.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go put myself in jail.
He would be like, "Where's the dog?" And all of a sudden, you're like, "He's in his cage." I'm like, "Oh man, now we got to go find out what he did." Sometimes we found out, sometimes we didn't. I'm like, I don't know what he did, but good job. You can come out now.
You served your time.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, you know you done wrong since you put yourself in timeout.
Our English bulldog wouldn't sleep without a crate, so it was always fun. Because people are, you crate your dog? That's so mean. Okay. Glad you think so.
That sounds like someone.
Well, I found it to be the opposite of being mean. And of course, all the dogs I had some kind of anxiety disorder of their own, so the cage actually helped them through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Normal to crate your dog.
I mean,
Yeah, as long as you're not
for their
walking.
safety too, because if you're not there, it keeps them from getting in trouble or hurt or eating something bad or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like if they have everything they need, then
And then you can actually like sleep at night or whatever, knowing that your dog is not roaming around eating stupid stuff like my dog would do when he wasn't crated. So it's like, why did you eat that? Why would you even think it was good to eat that? I don't understand why you did that.
like because some dogs will roam around and they'll get to the trash or they'll go places they're not supposed to, or if you have a
Yeah.
door, they'll go outside, and it's like it's safer to have them in a crate, you know. So
Well, I get a lot of backlash on my other channel because my animals are in cages. The rabbits are in cages, and people have a big to do about it. And I'm like, well, you don't see the whole 365 days of the year with me and my animals either. You don't like see that they get an outside cage and on the weekend they're playing out in the yard in a little, I mean, you know, they're not like always in that cage.
As long as it's big enough for them and they're not cramped, I mean, it's like putting your child in a bedroom.
Right.
You know, it's like, do you put your kid in their own room or what do you do?
One lady left me a message that said, I wish they could put you in a cage for today so you could see how that feels. I'm like, damn, I wish somebody put me in a cage and feed me and take care of me.
Right?
Would you rather I lock it outside? Like what do you want me to do?
Well, I was ugly. That was at the beginning of my YouTubing, and I was very ugly, and I let her see the ugly comment before I took her off of the page. But well, if it makes you feel any better, we eat them, so they're only in there temporary.
I mean, if you've got
She
bedding,
didn't like that. She didn't like that part either. Like, we're raising them for food, so you know. Right now he's alive, so.
I can understand if you've got a cage that's way too small and they can't move around and stuff like that.
Yeah, we don't have like the whole flock. We don't have like the whole flock in one, or the whole family in one cage. They have plenty of room. One of those keyboard pirates, you know.
Mm-hmm. Nowadays, people just need a reason to complain.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. They're mad when they come on the net to find something to complain about, and then that day it was me.
Yeah, I
get a bunch of
like cancel culture and social media and stuff like that. It's like people just need reasons to complain, and they find reasons to complain.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I get a lot of flack on my deer hunting stuff too, because they're like, "You're stalking the animal. It doesn't have a chance." Blah blah blah.
What do they think the Indians did?
I mean, where do you think your food comes from? You don't think somebody kills the food you're eating? I mean, like, at least the animal that I shot and killed today wasn't hemped up, and it went quick. It doesn't know it's going to be slaughtered. If you raise those kinds of animals and those, you don't think they don't realize when you go through this chute right here, you're not coming back? They realize that.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be stressful, but people don't care anymore.
Yep, they just have to find something to complain about.
We hunt if the freezer's empty. We don't hunt if the freezer is full. We're not just hunting to be hunting. We're hunting to eat. So if I don't need any food, then I don't go hunt. Just like fishing. I hate it because I love to go fishing, but we have a freezer full of fish, so we haven't been this season because we don't need the fish. But in the wintertime, if we didn't have deer, rabbit, and fish, we wouldn't survive most winters. So let me put you in one of those situations and see how you do it, lady.
Yeah.
Wish I could have all of your money so I wouldn't have to worry about it. And yes, we do stalk the deer. We have cameras out there. We know their patterns. We feed them. I mean, you know, part of it.
I don't have issues with hunting. The only issues I have is when they're hunting for sport.
Just for the sport of it, to show the kill. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially with like big game.
Yeah, we don't drive all over the county with our killed deer on our truck to show everybody that we killed a deer. We're not one of those family, but I know people that do that. So just for the sport. That's not me. And we feed nutrients, not food. So it's not like they get used to us feeding them and they don't feed on natural habitat or anything. We put like blocks, like minerals out.
Yeah.
And it's like I also have issue with people that want to have like the AK-47s or like AR-15s and stuff like that, and it's like they have no reason to own weapons like that.
Yeah, you need a rifle, a shotgun, and maybe a handgun.
Like you don't need weaponry like that.
Yeah, you don't need military grade weapons in your own home. But I don't mind. I don't mind people owning guns either. So
it's like I'm not against people having guns. There's nothing against that. It's just you don't need the military grade stuff to protect yourself.
Well, you don't need it yet, but you might need it in the future. I'm just saying from a person who owns those kinds of weapons. I don't have like a whole slew, but I have enough to take care of our immediate family if anything goes down.
I guess my biggest issue is they're just so easy to get a hold of, and then you get the kids that take them and go shoot up schools.
Yeah, I was like, those are the kind of weapons that kids will take this like and do school shootings and stuff with, and so it's like I don't see why people own like the guns like that, because that's like for the military and stuff, and that should be military only. It's like if you're a civilian, you shouldn't own weaponry like that, and if you're not active duty, you don't need weaponry like that.
But again, if kids weren't shooting up schools, I probably wouldn't have any issues with them. But it's just the whole
yeah. It's like I'm fine with hunting rifles and stuff like that, and handguns and things, because you can protect your family with a handgun. You know, it's like a gun is a gun, and it'll shoot someone just fine. But it's like I don't know.
I think we look at it maybe just a tinge differently as having those kinds of guns, just like we prep foodage and other things to have in case of an emergency.
Yeah.
Our government and our military and our policemen sometimes aren't on the up and up. And so I kind of look at that as just in case. I mean,
yeah.
Also, I mean, you know, yeah, I could hurt somebody with the other guns that I have, but it's also not going to take care of me if our government turns against us or, God forbid, some kind of uprising happens.
Yeah.
But I just think, just like drugs, though, they've you know, they're all illegal, but that doesn't you know, keep the people from going to schoolyards and selling it to the kids. It's just like the guns. If you make those illegal, it's going to be even easier for them to get. Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's true.
I hate to say it, but if they're going to kill somebody, they're going to find a way to do it, whether there's AR to get or not. I mean, if I have a rifle that has a clip that I can shoot much longer than my AR.
Yeah. I mean, if the kids that shot up Columbine, and they looked on their computers, they had recipes for homemade bombs and everything. So they could have blew up the whole school instead of doing what they did. So
right. I feel like if you're set in your way to make that happen, you're gonna find a way to make that happen, regardless of what kind of whatever's around you. Unfortunately,
I think the Columbine kids were interrupted. I think the police and everything showed up, and that's what caused them to not do more.
But I'm saying that if they would have just went with the bombs instead of shooting, they could have blew up the whole school.
Destructive.
Yeah. And they probably could have got away with it and not had to kill themselves too, because back then, you know,
they were one of the first ones to.
Yeah. They were one of the bigger ones. That wasn't a
one
college.
Of the most well known, but they weren't the first, but
no,
well known.
That wasn't a college.
Yeah,
because most of it back then was like colleges getting shot up.
Yeah, they were like the first in high school.
I wish when something unfortunate like that happens that they would not give so much press coverage to the person that did it. Like, quit digging into that person's background. Quit telling us everything about. Like, some of those people do that to get that, whether they kill themselves or not after it happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're doing it to get that kind of notoriety. Let's please not give it to them.
Yeah, same thing with serial killers. They keep killing because they like the fame. So
they want people to try to figure it out and let them know that it's them and some. I have to make it back here without the bathroom cleaner. I came all the way back here to clean the bathroom. There it is. I said, how did I do that? Did either one of you ever read the back of a bottle of one of these cleaners?
No. I probably wouldn't use them if I did.
Well, the thing is, this is Clorox cleaner with bleach.
Oh, I wouldn't use that.
90. Well, I don't choose to use this. This is the customer's house, and I wouldn't use this. I like all natural stuff, but you know, the front of the bottle says kills 99% of bacteria, viruses, kills COVID-19 virus, blah blah blah. Okay, on the back of the bottle it says that spray intended item to clean. Let set for 30 seconds or longer before wiping off with a wet sponge or cloth. Like if you just spray it and wipe it off, you're not killing any bacteria. You're wasting your time. Some of them say longer than that, though. This one's probably shorter because it's got bleach in it. But like a regular cleaner, it's like 3 minutes. Just to let it set for 3 minutes.
Yeah, I let my stuff sit. I spray and wait.
Depends on if I'm in a hurry or not.
But just so you know, if you don't let it sit long enough, you're not doing anything. You're not really cleaning anything. You're just wasting your time.
I don't use bleach cleaner anyway because.
Well, the other cleaner is like 3 minutes, but like it's not disinfecting it or whatever if you don't let it sit on there. I had a lady one time was like, "Why do you do it like that?" Because I sprayed her bathroom, and then I went and done something else. Why do you do it like that? Because the bottle says that if you don't let it sit for 3 minutes, it's not cleaning it. Just trying to do what the bottle says. I like the little ladies who would call me to come try to clean for them, and I'd be like, "I think I could do this house in 6 hours." I charge by the hour because I started when I had kids, and I just stayed that way. But like, well, 6 hours? I'd be like, "Well, how long did it take you?" They could never answer that question. Exactly, because you've never done the whole house yourself. So I'm just saying that's my estimate is 6 hours.
Do you guys hear a beeping?
No, not from here.
Okay. That's weird.
I don't hear beeping. I don't think there's anything over here that's beeping. Nothing is playing here but the air conditioner, and I doubt you can hear that with my earbuds on.
It's something outside. Once I put my ear to the window, it got louder.
Uh-oh.
Oh, well.
You sound like me last night. I told my husband, I said, "You need to check the kitchen sink." He's like, "Why?" I said, "Because something's dripping in the kitchen sink. We need to take care of that. Under the sink, not like in the sink. Like we've got a drip somewhere." I think that was a couple of nights ago. Well, last night he said, "Yeah, we have to go to the plumbing store and fix some things tonight. It's hot. Our hot water had been leaking underneath the kitchen sink for a minute." Well, there you go. That's what I was hearing. Of course, I'm really the only one that's in there bright and early in the morning when it's quiet, too, though. Okay.
Oh my God. I wish I knew who was doing that. It's annoying.
Uh-oh. You have noise aversions, too?
Some, yeah.
I do, too. If I'm ever on anybody's video trying to listen to the video and they've got a smoke detector or some kind of detector going off in the background, that drives me out.
Yes. I turn it off. I'm like,
I mean, can you not hear that? And like, then I'll be like, okay, well, let me go check her again because surely they fixed it by now. Nope. I'm like, you do know that like you just need a 9-volt battery. That's all you need to fix that beeping noise. Oh well, one lady was like, well, it's hardwired in. And I'm like, well, not if the power's out. Your smoke detector's not going to tell you there's a fire if the power's out right this minute. That's what that beep means, is that your battery is dead. But those kinds of things I can't do. That's why I can't do the mukbangs, because of those noises. I just can't do it. And I like a lot of the people that do those things. I just can't do it. Put me up another video so I can watch the other video. I cannot watch the mukbang videos.
Some of them I can't watch, but I don't know. Like if they're like right in their microphone or something eating, I can't watch it. But if they're far enough away and I don't hear
all the smacking noises, every single noise is fine.
Yeah. I hate hearing people eat us, Crystal.
I think we touched on this, or y'all touched on this a couple videos ago. Because you were like asking your husband, why was he eating before you had the video started? I don't want to hear you eating. You just, oh, brother.
Don't worry, I yell at my husband for doing it too, eating too loud, or starting to eat before I find a show to turn on. I can't. Going to restaurants is fine because it's loud and you don't hear people. But now he knows he's got to wait for me to get a show turned on. Sometimes he doesn't do it, and it drives me nuts.
Well, I have exchanged seats with people at family gatherings and stuff. Like, don't put me next to that person again. I can't do it. Can't listen to me. If this lady here didn't used to use bleach cleaner, but now that the grandkids are over here a lot, she uses more bleach cleaner. And I'm like, most of my people are all natural products. I'd rather have vinegar and paper towels than some microfiber cloth. You can clean a lot with vinegar. Isopropyl alcohol. The first half I poured out this morning, she had to have forgotten I was coming today because her house was a mess. I was like, oh my jeez. She didn't pick up diddly squat. I was like, ugh. Maybe the dad's all by himself this morning or something. It just was not the normal picked up, ready to be cleaned house this morning. I was like, geez. And I confirm with all my people so they know I'm coming.
Yeah. One of the YouTubers I watch cleans her house before her house cleaner comes. And I'm not talking about just picking stuff up. She gets out the cleaner, wipes everything down, and I'm like,
no.
Why do you need a house cleaner?
Yeah, no.
You literally just did it yourself. Why do you need a house cleaner? Oh my God.
I prefer that they pick everything up, that they don't want me messing up with a vacuum cleaner, or, like, if the vacuum cleaner grabs something off of your floor that you didn't pick up, that's not my fault. That's all I'm saying. I try to pick it up, but you know what I'm saying? Like, pick your house up. I don't want to put stuff away. I want to clean the surfaces of your house. So at least pick it up and have it ready for me to clean. I cleaned some really raunchy places before I got a good group of people. I'll tell you that much. Well, we call that young and hungry, where you did it anyway. And now I'm like, no, not doing it. I can do a lot of things, but paper towels is not one of them. You must have paper towels. Or microfiber cloths that are actually still microfiber that you didn't wash dry and put dryer sheets and stuff in there with it. Yeah, I'm with you. That would defeat the purpose. Why do you need a housekeeper if you're going to do all the stuff before she shows up?
Probably just to make sure, like, you catch something that she didn't catch.
Well, I'd have to hire a different housekeeper if I kept finding stuff that she wasn't doing that I think that should have been done. Actually, that's a conversation piece that I start with all my people of like, what is it? What do you expect of me? Because clean is my clean's not your clean. You know what I mean? Like we both have versions of clean that are different than.
Or maybe you still do something that she's not doing, so.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. Well, I mean, you know, if you talked it over and, you know, she's not going to do this, so I'm going to do it right now so it's all done at the same time. That makes sense. But, like, and I started confirming with people the night before because I ran into a situation one morning that was it was not cool, and I didn't want that to happen ever again. I was going every 2 weeks, and it was just a quick little apartment, like two young married couple. Anyway, I showed up one morning, and I got all my stuff ready. I come in the garage entrance and got all the cleaning stuff ready, and was gonna hit the bathroom right there by the garage first. And when I turned the corner with all my stuff, there sits the husband with his pants all around his ankles and the bathroom door standing wide open. And I was like, okay. So I left. I just left all my stuff there. I'm like, no, that was too much. I can't even stay to face him when he gets out of the bathroom. I just scrambled to shut the door. Oh my God. I was like, So now I confirm with everybody the night before. It's like midday the day before. So they know I'm going to be in their household. Or remind them that I'm going to be in their household tomorrow. I don't need to see any more husbands on the toilet. Nope. I mean, it was very embarrassing. I was like, oh my word. And I cleaned for one lady who had a wake for her cat, like silver. I had to polish silver and clean the nice wine goblets and stuff. And I found out after the fact that it was for a cat's wake.
Oh,
my Are you kidding me?
Oh, wow.
I mean, I spent hours polishing the silverware set and the trays and all the stuff that went with it. Yeah, about 2 hours into it, she was like, oh, I hope everybody shows up early. We're not done yet. And I was like, what are we throwing a nice party? What are we throwing tonight? I was like, holy shit, for real? I didn't say that out loud to her, but I was like, oh my gosh. I needed the money, but I might not have said yes to it if I'd known it was for the cat's wake and not a party of some kind.
Right.
Like they did a lot of benefits, so I was thinking she was doing something to, you know, get people to give money to some charity or whatever she was doing at that time. Oh my gosh. A cat's wake. I wanted to say, woman, you got too much money. I'm not charging you enough.
Right.
That's what I was thinking. I'm not charging you enough.
I don't think
she did. She did teach me a lot of stuff in housekeeping world of things too. I was just young and needed to have a job that I could take my kids with me when we first moved here because I didn't know anybody and I wasn't leaving my babies with people I didn't know.
Right.
So I had to brainstorm and come up with something that I could take them with. But for years after that, if anybody had asked me for reference, I'd say, well, I worked for Betty Brockway. Do you know her? She was a teacher up at the university. She was a drama teacher. And they were like, oh, you worked for Betty? How long? And they're like, 7 years or so. And they were like, oh, well, that's good enough reference for me. That's what kind of person she was. If you worked for Betty for 7 years, I'm sure you can do a good job for me. the lady that I took the job of the lady that was there before me, they had went out of town and came back in a day early and didn't let anybody know they were coming home early. And it happened to be the day that the lady was supposed to be there cleaning. And she had rearranged her furniture and was taking pictures of her house. She was in school for interior design, and she was making a portfolio from this lady's house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God. No, she didn't. She said, yes, she did. Like, her boyfriend was over here moving my furniture around and all kinds of stuff. Like, oh,
Wow.
that's terrible.
That would make me mad.
Yeah. Well, when I showed up to do the job, I hadn't talked to her before. It was just a lady that we both knew sent me over there. Anyway, I came in with my baby, and I'm looking at this house, and I'm going, oh no. Oh, like I was scared to let the poor kid down. I was scared he was going to break something that was thousands of dollars worth of. I mean, whew, I had never seen or been associated with anybody that had that kind of money. Is all I got to say. I was very intimidated. I was like, I want to let my infant crawl around in this house or not. He might break something that's really expensive that I can't pay for.
Oh. I don't think I could go into someone's house and rearrange their furniture.
Yeah, how would you feel like? I don't know. I mean, I've been at houses before and think I probably shouldn't charge them the whole fee because I had to do this or I had to do that or I had to do what have you, you know, and then to go in somebody's house and just blatantly lie and use it for, I just don't know. I don't know if do that either. Yeah. Which, on the back end of things, what I was thinking of this, well, she never did tell me what the lady's name was or anything, but I was thinking, you're going to come into this town, which is a pretty small town, and then try to show off your portfolio of the work you've done to other rich people who probably know this lady and has been in her house before, you know, like that probably wouldn't go too well for her. Show up the wrong person's house and be like, is this the Brockways? Is this? I know this house. Did you work for the Brockways? She was definitely in the right profession. She taught drama in college, and she was so dramatic it wasn't even funny. She was one of those ladies, I always said that she was born in the wrong time period because she would be like, well, today we're going to, and then she would list off what she wanted me to do. And in my mind, I'm thinking, we're going to? What, me and the mouse I got in my pocket? Like, you're never going to list us nothing to do. You're not going to do none of this. But she'd tell me what to do for that day. She's like, oh, I got to go lay down. This migraine's about to take me over. So she'd go back to bed.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, today we are gonna, did you hire somebody else too? Somebody gonna help me do all this work? I had to come to the garage and I had to put on shoes to enter her household. I couldn't use my regular tennis shoes in her house. She was one of those people.
Oh, okay.
If you had the money and you could choose, would you rather have a chef or a housekeeper? And I say housekeeper instead of cleaner because, like, I change out their vent, not clean out the vents, change the filters and like the air conditioning unit and
Probably a housekeeper. I don't have any room in here for a chef.
That one's hard for me because I don't mind cleaning and I like cooking.
My back can't handle the cleaning.
But at the same time, if I had a chef, maybe they could make me healthier food options that I would never have thought of. But then at the same time, my house would probably get clean quicker if I had a house cleaner.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I would choose. That's a hard one.
I used to always say I would have a housekeeper, but I think I would be too judgmental about housekeeper being that I'm doing this for my, as a profession.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I would be too critical over the person who came to clean. But, if we could throw a third one in there for a dishwasher, because I don't have a dishwasher. If I could have somebody wash the dishes, I love cooking. I just don't like cleaning up after us all.
Yeah.
I don't like the dishes.
Yeah, I think I would probably choose a chef because I get irritated when people clean. Like if I clean and then someone comes and cleans right after me, I get irritated with that.
Right.
So
are you a break it down kind of person? Like, are you just clean with whatever comes to fancy at the time, or do you have like break it down? Like at my house, I have to break it down into smaller increments. So, like every day, I try to do a little something so that it doesn't all bull up on me at the same time. But I don't ever clean my house from top to bottom like I do these people's houses all in one day.
Yeah. Now I have a list, but whether I get to it or not's a different story.
Right. So you put up the things like at the top of the list of things that non-negotiables, like this has to be done, this has to be done, and then you get to all the little nitpicky stuff when you get a chance to do the nitpicky stuff. That's how I do my house. That's what I was asking.
Yeah, that's why most of my videos are me doing the dishes and laundry because they're at the top of the list.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, you have to eat. You have to have stuff to eat off of, and you have to have laundry to wear clean clothes or to take a bath or whatever. So I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I try to break mine down. Like when I first become married and kids, I would try to do it all in one day. I'd try to do the laundry, the dishes, the cleaning the bathrooms, everything all in one day. And I'm like, that was so stressful. Why did I ever do it like that? I guess nobody ever taught me otherwise. My mama kicked us out of the house. She was like, get out or help me. So we got out. So I really never was shown how to do it.
Yeah.
Taught how to do it. But my OCD prevents me from doing some of the stuff at my house because it's either perfect or it's nothing. There's no in between. No problem on my end. Or not perfect. It's never done perfect. You know what I mean? I want it done in a certain way or else I won't do it at all.
Right. Yep. That's one of the things that frustrates my husband because he'll start helping me do something and I'll just stop and stand there and just start staring. He's like, what? I'm like, you are literally in my way. I'm just trying to help.
You know what my thing, what I do, and me and my husband have the same thing, is that I'll stop and say, are you doing this or am I? Because we both can't do it. Like, make up your mind. Are you doing this or am I?
Right.
So that makes, yeah. Like loading the dishwasher. When we had a dishwasher, he'd be like, if I load it, you're going to reload it. So why am I going to come load it? Because it's not done to your specifications. That took a lot for me to let go of some of that. I did eventually let go of some of that.
I let him load it, and then when I go to unload it the next day, I kind of criticize him silently, like, really? You could have.
Why did you do it like this? Why did you do it like this? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm not silent. I'm not silent because I'll be like, who loaded the dishwasher? This is stupid. Why did you? Yeah, I got to be better at that. I am now better at that. But sometimes I think we put undue stress on ourselves and the tasks and the way we do things. And Just if you could see a new way to do it, it might be easier for us to do it. I forgot the stool. One day I went to the chiropractor and he said, "Do you own a step stool?" I'm like, "Well, why did you ask that question?" He said, "Because your hip being pulled out of socket." He said, "I know you're a housekeeper for a living. Are you like throwing your hip up on top of the counter to get up there to clean something, or are you using the step ladder?" And I was like, "Well, it depends." It's like your hip joint is not supposed to lift your entire weight to get up on something, Michelle. Oh, it's not? Well, it works pretty good until it don't. Or he'll get on to me for my shoulder problem. One of my shoulder problems one time was because I would be up on a tall step ladder, and instead of crawling down and moving the step ladder over, I would just lean as far as I could get both ways, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you should have repositioned yourself. That's why you're in this problem today. I love him, but I hate him because he tells you all the things that you should have done while you were not there. Like this last time he said, "Well, it's been 2 months since you've been here, so it's going to hurt tomorrow. You know that, right?" Because the day after, I don't know if y'all have been to the chiropractor before, but the day after is worse than the day you went. You were in pain. Well, usually we don't go unless we're in pain, so we're in pain, but the next day is terrible. He said, "Your body's used to holding it in properly, and now you are in proper shape, and it doesn't like that. Your body's trying to go back to the way it was holding it before."
I stopped seeing the chiropractor because the pain management doctor told me to.
Well, they're not all the same, but I can see where maybe one of those chiropractors was not doing his service like he should have been.
No, it was working fine, but they told me, they're like, "Well, if they sent you here, that means it's not working, so stop seeing them." And I'm like, okay. And I didn't really have a choice because, you know, the insurance was
pain
paid
management
for.
rules.
Yeah.
Pain management rules. If they say stuff, that's, yeah.
Like, okay.
He, the chiropractor we found here, like I've been in chiropractic care since I was 18. I was in a motor vehicle accident that was really bad. But the doctor I had there in Georgia was the same kind of doctor we finally found here, or chiropractor we finally found here, is that he's an old traditional chiropractor that treats you manipulation only. He doesn't have a lot. Well, he's got some modalities, but you don't go to his office and spend 15 minutes on 8 different modalities for your treatment either. He actually, the very first time I went to see him, he didn't even have you fill out anything but what is your main problem today, like what is hurting you the most today. So he didn't know any of my background, didn't know any of that. So he did the assessment hands-on. Be like, "Well, you have migraines. This has happened. This is a problem. This is a problem." And I was just flabbergasted when I left that office, like for real, that he could tell all of that by just manipulation, the way your body situation is right then and there. So I went home and told my husband, I said, "Yep, this is the one we're going to." No, this is it. But I go to him for a lot of things. People are like, "Did you go see your doctor about that?" I'm like, "No, I went to my chiropractor though." People get mad about that. I'm like, why would you do that? You'd be surprised what they can help you with, a real good one. Like, not all of them are the same.
Yeah.
But my dad used to always say that when you start going to the chiropractor, you can't ever stop. And that is true, but it's not true. Like, if your body is so messed up that you had to go to chiropractic treatment, you have to keep going to keep your body in proper alignment. You can't just go once and be good. But he said, "It's been 2 months since you've been here, Michelle." And I'm like, "I know, because I'm poor, because I can't afford you." I thought about asking him because he does, the lady that does all his filing is the one who's quote cleans the office. I thought about asking him, hey, you want to barter services? I'll come clean your office and you treat me and my husband once a month for free. Trade out services. But I hadn't got up the courage yet to ask him. I mean, I'm sure the girl at the front desk doesn't like cleaning the office.
Probably not.
How do you start that conversation though to not make anybody mad? Like, excuse me, your office is nasty. That's not what I'm saying at all. But you know, like they'll think, right, she thinks our office is nasty. Not what I'm saying. Just saying, Kelly probably don't want to do the office anymore. Of course, my proud husband would probably have a conniption fit if he found out I was asking him that now. What's the difference in telling somebody that you're broke as to asking if they want to barter services? To me, it's the same thing. They know you're broke.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
It's apparently what they do up in Alaska a lot, so.
Oh, yeah. They have to. That's a necessity up in Alaska. Or some of the places in Alaska. Because you can't get your item otherwise. I just don't see any shame in it. All he can say is no. I mean, it's worth asking. But at the time I finally talked him into going to ask for some help with food and stuff, and that lady down there basically told me that we both have to quit our jobs and sell our vehicles before the government can help us because we made too much money. I was like, oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Unfortunately not, ma'am. That's pretty shameful. We're trying our best to help ourselves. We just need a little help right now.
They don't care.
No, they don't care. Sell your car. Well, if I sell my car, then I can't go to work. And then you're going to have to help me more than you're helping me right now. But I have a feeling that they think they're better off if the more people do depend on them. That's the sad part. But it did make me mad. Mad enough to do something different so we didn't have to go for them for help no more. So I guess the tactic worked, but just depressing. It is like that, you know. You can't just get help temporary if you need it.
Yep.
Yeah.
There should be an option, you know, like 30 days, 60 days, some kind of temporary help.
Well, you don't have to get on and stay forever. I mean, people, like, welfare is not meant to be forever.
No, well.
But they don't give it to you or they won't give it to you when you only need it temporarily either.
Right. They'll only wait until you actually have to have it more than full time. Well, you know, we scream out louder for some people in the back that don't realize that was the whole intent. But
I mean, if you need it, you get on it, and then when you don't need it, you get off. That's what it's supposed to be for.
And
some people get on it, and then they just don't get on it.
I know people that got on it and kept having babies to stay on it. So
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Like, they'll get on it, and then it's like, oh, wait, you know, free money. I can just slow down on the work and let the money keep coming. And, you know, wait, I'll get more money if I have a kid. Are you kidding me? And, like, that's the mentality some people have, you know. It's like, if the government will give me money, then why not? And so they don't have the work ethic to not let the government, you know. So it's like, it's just the mentality some people have.
Yeah.
You get the people that are proud for welfare, and so they don't want to get on welfare, and that's the problem too.
Yeah.
And so it's like, they'll let themselves become homeless before they'll put themselves on welfare. And it's like, at least apply for it. You know, it's like,
see what you qualify for. You might qualify for more than you think.
Exactly. Like, don't sit there and be like, I don't want to be on welfare. Like, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It doesn't mean that you can't take care of your family. It just means that you're in a bad spot right now, and you can get off. You don't have to stay on it for the rest of your life. Like get on it, pay what you like, catch yourself up, and then tell them I'm done. I don't need this anymore. Like you can turn it into a temporary thing. People don't realize that. It's like it doesn't have to be permanent. It's like just because you do need it, and at the time it is a desperate need, it's like, but you just have to prove that you need it is the thing. It's not something where it's like you think you need it. You actually have to need it, but that's the problem. You get these people that don't actually need it or whatever, and then they want to get on it and they don't really need it. They're just budgeting wrong. And that's the problem. And that's why they get denied. Like that can be a problem too. You get people that don't know how to manage their money, and that's why they get denied.
I worked for a grocery store back when the food stamps was actually paper food stamps.
Oh, I know,
like a stamp book. Mm-hmm. Man, I tell you, all the sharing and trading going on in that grocery store.
That's why they went to the thing you have. You can't trade them like you used to.
Mm-hmm. And they can like the stuff you're not supposed to buy on there, like if you got too many red flags or whatever, you get in trouble for buying. Mm-hmm. So there are some rules that turn good from what they did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're a lot different than they used to be. And now, like, they can put money on them or whatever, like cash money, to where you can buy like shampoo and stuff like that. But you have to have, like, they're for people that have children.
Right.
So it's like, I don't get the cash on there. I have because in my state, I get a separate card, and it's like a little Visa card, and I'll get like $20 a month. And, and it's for stuff like shampoo or things like that, like little household things that food stamps
needs, but the food stamps don't cover.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I was told when
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what I was told when I first moved here. I was like, you qualify for the little like extra card or whatever to go along with it, but it's like I said, it's like $20. It's literally $20.
I mean, you buy a couple, you can buy your soap or shampoo or whatever.
Yeah. They said that's what it's for. It's literally just for the stuff that you can't get with EBT, because food stamps won't buy things like that. So it's for, like, if you need dish soap, if you need laundry detergent, if you need stuff like that, that's what that card is for. And that's what I use it for, like, or if my cat, like because I have a cat, if I need litter, I'll buy litter with that card with month. And so that's what I use that card for. And so it's like, if it's time for her to get new litter, I use that card for it, because that's what it's for,
Right.
And so it's like, and I have a Medicare card, and they put money on my Medicare card, and I use it to pay utility bills, because that's like all it can do. Like the money can just, like, it can either pay utility bills, or it's like
you get a cash option so that you can pay for whatever else is needed other than food.
What do you mean? On the
like, do they access, like, it's just depending on what you're qualified for, like?
Yeah. On the healthcare card, they give me, because it's how much my premium is. Yeah, it's based on the premium that gets paid.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. And so it's like the healthcare coverage that I have and everything. The coverage that I have determines like how much I can get on the card, and it recycles every month. And if I don't spend it, I lose it. So it doesn't like add up. So it just recycles the same amount every month. So it's
So
not
you're
like
gonna use it for something. You need to use it for something. You give it back to them. That's not part of the plan, right? Let's not give it back to them. You have to
so
say gave it to me to help me.
I always put it towards a utility bill or something so it gets used. Or if I need something from like CVS or something, I'll go to CVS and get like vitamins or something like that because it can buy vitamins. Or because I also need like carpal tunnel braces and things like that, and it can buy those braces and stuff from CVS, and because it can buy like healthcare stuff because it's on my healthcare plan, and so
Right.
you can buy like healthcare things or vitamins or like supplements and stuff like that, and so I'll use it for that, and then I'll put the rest on a utility bill, and so it's like it's been a big help, and I think I started getting that at the first of the year because I changed my healthcare coverage at the beginning of the year.
I got into a heated debate with my mother-in-law one time about. We both worked at the same grocery store that had the the paper food coupons and stuff, and she would always say something. We both worked back in the deli together after we were cashiers, but she would always say like, well, look at that person's buggy. They should be buying blah, 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 and blah, 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 and cooking it themselves. It'd last them longer. And, blah, like just going in on the items that the person was checking out. And I'm like, well, what if that person don't have any way to cook anything? I mean, what if that person don't know how? I mean, you don't know the rest of this person's life story just because they're using food stamps in a grocery store. Like you're passing, just judging these people. You don't even know them. Like, just because you would do it that way, don't mean that they need to do it that way.
Because the
like,
stove
you gotta think just because we both have a stove to go cook food on, and we know how to cook from scratch, doesn't mean that everybody can or has that ability.
Exactly, because I live in a house where I wouldn't touch the stove with a 10-foot pole. I think Melissa knows what I'm talking about. It's like gas and ancient and everything else. So I cook everything by microwave. And so it's like I'm always buying, like I'm using my food stamps and everything to buy microwave food. But
Right.
It gets me by,
Right.
and everything. And I live by it, and I'm fine. And I every now and then I will like buy like vegetables and things like that to go in the fridge, or I'll buy food that I can put in the fridge and everything that I don't really need to microwave or cook or anything, because I won't touch my stove because I see it as a fire hazard. I don't trust it. I won't use it. So if I can cook by microwave, I'm fine, or if it's stuff that can just go in the fridge and go that way, then I'm good. And like pre-cooked stuff or whatever that I don't need to microwave, or things that can just come out of the fridge and be eaten like that, like rotisserie chickens and things like that, that are like, well, I can buy rotisserie chicken if it's already been like cooked or whatever and served cold. I can buy those. And so, things like that.
There's a blue million of things you can make out of a rotisserie chicken too.
I know, and they're so good.
And it's already, like you said, it's already cooked, so whatever you add to it in the microwave is perfect for your situation.
Exactly.
She's judgmental. My mother-in-law is judgmental regard. I mean,
I think it's an age thing because my mom would be the same way. Like she would
so judgmental.
Yeah, she could get kind of judgy too. She wouldn't do it like at the store. Like she would get it like in the car or at home or something. And it would just be like, really? it just depended on like the situation and stuff like that. Because she could talk about somebody behind their back too.
Well, I always said if if one of your friends was going to talk about somebody behind your back, they're going to talk about you behind your back. As soon as you turn your back, they're going to talk about you too. So she's just anyway. I was having such a good day. Why did I have to bring up my own mother-in-law? Oh. My monster-in-law, that's more like it. Better terminology. These little bitty spiders are quick, y'all. These little bitty spiders are quick.
Oh,
I come to this household weekly, and there's still a bunch of little spiders in the corners. I mean, little bitty, teeny, weeny spiders causing havoc on my floor.
I get spiders over here. But that's Oklahoma for you.
I always say, well, at least somebody was enjoying the house, because some of these rich people they're never really at their houses. They're like always on the go and somewhere else. I showed up to work for one lady one time. She called it a cabin, even though it was like a mansion on the lake. It was featured in one of those really put together home magazines. Like every little nook and cranny was decorated to the hilt and looked like an old farmhouse kind of thing, decorations wise and all. And so I worked for her, I don't know, a couple of months, and she had a camp in the summertime where she was a counselor, where she brought like underprivileged, on the brink of being incarcerated children, and so they did a summer camp with them to try to teach them a better way. She was a Christian counselor. But anyway, after I had worked for her for a couple of months, and I was doing the sleeping quarters for all these kids, she had a sleeping porch that fit like 30 bunk beds, or 30 kids in the bunk beds up in that little room. So I was cleaning it, and I was noticing every time there'd be like a pile of dirt just in weird, inconspicuous places where you would be like, the kids weren't even up here in this spot. How did that pile of dirt get there all by itself? Just a pile of dirt. So, I don't know. It happened again and again. And one day when I showed up to clean, I noticed that her mother was leaving the property as I was pulling in. So when I found out what she was doing, she was setting little traps for me to see if I was cleaning good enough. So she would like bring dirt from outside and just put it in some inconspicuous corner just to see if I'd cleaned it up. Like, look, woman, I got a lot to do at this house. I don't need to be worrying about your little traps and games, man, you know? She was spending so much time up there. I'm like, if you're that worried about it, maybe your mama needs to clean for you. I don't know, but she needs to quit her crap. That's what she needs to do. Well, who does that kind of? That's crazy crap right there, man. Let me put this pile of dirt here just to see if she's cleaning. I was just like, for real? Takes all kinds.
I think I've heard of people that do stuff like that.
I mean, it was just stupid. Like, she would do it in like a room too, like, and when it wasn't summer and there wasn't kids there was really no reason for me to every week go up in that particular part of the house when there wasn't a bunch of people there. And she'd be like, oh, she didn't clean this corner when she was here, Melissa. You should really look for somebody else. You find another person to clean from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. That's because I couldn't be there when the kids were there. So in the transition of the weeks, I'd have to be working at really weird times just to get it in where I wasn't there with the kids. You find somebody else that's going to come at 9 p.m. and stay till 2 a.m. See how many people you get to show up for that kind of hours. Lady. I finally just sat down with her. I'm like, look, I don't know what your mama's doing, but she's causing havoc in my world. She either needs to stop or you need to have her clean it. You choose.
Ma'am, I'm
What?
live. Ma'am, that's rude.
Yeah, very rude. She was very rude. She was very rude. One time I hired a person to come help me out there, and the same lady, not the lady that was sitting in the trash, the lady that owned the house. When we got cleaning, we went to find her for the check, and she said, I forgot because she didn't live.
Pesh. Pesh. Pesh.
You tell her I'm going to whoop her little ass.
Can you hear that?
Yes. She's loud.
You need to stop. Nobody wants to hear you scratching your nails down the wall.
She shouldn't be scratching her nails on the wall anyway. She's got a perfectly good couch out there to do that on.
She does it along the windowsill.
Oh, Lord. I hope you live in that place for the rest of your life then, because you ain't getting your deposit back.
I need to talk to you about that, actually. Oh, we lost Michelle.
Oh. Uh-oh.
I thought she went quiet. Yeah, I need to talk to you about that.
About what, moving?
Yeah.
Did you find a place to move to?
No, but I need to talk to you about it.
Okay. Like a not on the internet talk?
Most likely, yeah.
Okay. Well, we can end this and then we can talk while I cook dinner.
Okay. It seems like we've hit the...
We hit the almost 4-hour mark like normal.
Mm-hmm.
And no one ever makes it this far anyway. But if you are watching this 4 hours later, thank you for joining us. And
Yes. Thank you.
next week, I'll let you guys know what we're doing sometime. I
Yeah, we'll
hope.
figure it out.
But maybe next week I'll have more energy. I think it's because it's like raining off and on.
It's been raining here too.
Yeah, I just don't have the energy today. All right. Well, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.